Late at night in the White Demon Castle, the one below panted as he listened to the person high above coldly call his name. The White Demon Saint, Chen Bai, raised his hand and declared, "Your failure in this mission has put me in a very bad mood, therefore, you shall die." This threw Chen Bai into a panic. He pleaded frantically, "Wait, Lady Goddess of Darkness, I implore you to consider my past contributions and grant me one more chance." But she paid him no mind. A lowly human has no right to beg for an opportunity. Be buried in darkness along with your White Demon Castle. The castle was gradually being devoured by Hero's dark power. Pulled by that force, Chen Bai could no longer continue to fight. Oh, his body began to be torn apart by it, and he could only resign himself to being dragged down. I completed more than 100 missions for her, but just because of this one failure, I'm being killed. A thought suddenly flashed through his mind, is it because I am a lowly human? Chen Bai lay on the surface of the water with his body no longer intact, filled with ridiculous thoughts. I am not resigned. Haha, I refuse to accept this. In the end, he could only laugh loudly like a madman. Then, using the last of his strength, he raised a friendly middle finger in resentment and cursed, "You dark bitch, I'll screw you." But before he could finish, he was stomped down by her foot. The rest of Chen Bai was gradually swallowed by the endless darkness. Just as he was about to dissolve into nothingness, an hourglass suddenly flashed. Chen Bai awoke once more with a sky-chattering curse, "Screw you." But he abruptly realized something was wrong. Turning his head, Chen Bai grew suspicious. "Wait, I'm not dead. This is my college dorm room. Why am I here? Wasn't I killed by that woman? Decades of experiments were too real, it couldn't have been a dream." Looking down at his chest, he was startled again. Wait, the hourglass. This hourglass was an item he had obtained 20 years after the will of the universe descended, and the trials began. It was the most peculiar item he had ever seen, showing no attributes and being indestructible. That's why he always carried it with him. Remember, all the sand had flowed to the bottom, and it wouldn't flow even if I flipped it over. Now it's at the top again. Filled with suspicion, Chen Bai took out his phone to check. The sand flows in reverse, time turns back. On his phone screen was a familiar date that he always remembered. June 5, 2032, 10 days before the will of the universe descended, and the trials began. 10 days later, on June 15, the will of the universe would officially descend, simultaneously opening the trials. Over 90 of humanity would be abandoned, and the dead would turn into various types of zombies and monsters. All modern weapons would be useless, the world would fall into an apocalypse overnight. However, accompanying the dangers of the universal trials were opportunities. The survivors would awaken innate talents. Moreover, many dungeons, equipment, and magical items would descend to Earth along with the will of the universe. These treasures even attracted gods who held the power and laws of the universe. These gods couldn't directly interfere in the trials, so they used the pretense of protection to attract humans to seek refuge with them to gain benefits. In his past life, his strength was insufficient. He had struggled just to join the ranks under the Dark Goddess. He had risked his life to complete the mission she assigned. He had planned to solidify his standing, but unexpectedly, he was eliminated after just one failed mission. Chen Bai frowned, staring at the news on his phone. A new type of rabies, were zombies straight out of a movie. Patients at Jianshan First Hospital were going mad and biting people. A shocking, bizarre incident. A corpse had reawakened during an autopsy. He then silently made a vow. This time, I will become powerful. So powerful that I won't need to rely on any person or god. No, I'll become strong enough to crush the gods beneath my feet. Just you wait, heroes. Quickly concealing his face with simple items, Chen Bai left his dorm and headed for a hospital, a plan already forming in his mind. He recalled a piece of information from his past life. 10 years after the trials began, someone had discovered a unique method to upgrade one's talent. That person claimed that talents actually became active 10 days before the trials officially started. If one could discover and utilize their talent during that window, it could be leveled up. As he walked down the hospital corridor, he kept a lookout. In my past life, my talent was E-rank virus resistance. According to that method, if I want to upgrade my talent, I need to use a virus to stimulate and strengthen it. Just then, Chen Bai overheard a doctor speaking to a nurse. It's such a strange illness. I've never seen anything like it. The nurse remarked, the symptoms remind me of something out of a movie. He approached the room they had just left and went deeper inside. Behind a curtain-drawn bed, a zombie was tightly bound, writhing in a bloodthirsty frenzy. Chen Bai approached the bed with a syringe, observing it. It's a zombie, no doubt. He quickly plunged the syringe into a vein on the zombie's arm. To use and train my virus resistance talent, I have no choice but to inject this into myself. Soon, the syringe had drawn a large amount of a strange, purple fluid. Chen Bai estimated the amount. This should be enough to activate my talent. A while later, he was back in his dorm room. It was empty, his roommates were likely pulling an all-nighter. Seizing the opportunity, Shinbai took out the syringe. He felt a wave of tension. If that theory is wrong, I could die right here. But his resolve didn't waver, and he decided to inject the fluid into his own body. Screw it, he thought. In my past life, my talent was so weak that I had to live like a parasite for decades before things finally started looking up. The purple liquid rapidly spread through his veins, forcing Chen Bai to grit his teeth against the excruciating pain. If I awaken any talent again this time, even knowing the future, I'll still miss my chance because I'm too weak. If I have to live as a weakling even after being reborn, I might as well die now. Finally, unable to withstand the agony, he collapsed to the floor. In the endless darkness, Chen Bai once again saw an illusion of heroes. In his desperate state, he could hear her voice calling to him, a prideful command to give up his resistance and surrender to the darkness. As a lowly human, becoming a part of the darkness is the most fitting end for you. Chen Bai snarled her name, each syllable dripping with a hatred so intense it felt as if he wanted to chew her up and swallow her whole. He threw his head back and roared, "I will conquer you. How could I possibly fall here?" An unknown amount of time passed. By the time he was aware again, daylight was streaming in from outside the dormitory window. Chen Bai stood on the balcony, gazing into the distance. Just then, the door to the room burst open. He instinctively turned his head, his face covered in fresh blood, causing his 3 roommates to scream in terror. Seeing Chen Bai steadily approaching, the trio adopted a defensive posture. "What's wrong?" Chen Bai asked, thankfully having snapped out of his daze. He stared blankly at his roommates for a moment before faintly greeting them, "Oh, you're back." Then, as if nothing was wrong, he walked straight to the bathroom. "I'm just going to wash my face." As soon as the bathroom door closed, Chen Bai grew incredibly excited as he observed his reflection in the mirror. It worked, that method was correct. The zombie virus didn't kill me, my talent has been upgraded. He couldn't help but wonder, I wonder what rank my awakened talent is. Just then, a voice from a higher plane echoed. "Chen Bai, congratulations on being selected as a pioneer, receiving the pioneer title and awakening." Eerily. Chen Bai was stunned for a moment, recognizing it as the voice of the will of the universe. A possibility suddenly occurred to him, he had awakened. Without hesitation, Chen Bai raised his hand and requested to open the title interface. A screen instantly appeared before him. Pioneer only those who discover, use, and train their abilities before the trials begin can possess this title. All attributes increased by 5. Experience gained increased by 10. Can awaken the attribute panel early. He let out a faint smirk. A perfect title bonus. Without wasting a moment, Chen Bai quickly examined the next section. Next is the talent panel. The excitement made him grip the sink so hard it shattered. A system notification appeared. Talent panel, says rank virus monarch. Chen Bai understood perfectly. The virus monarch was the most powerful poison type ability, capable of absorbing, utilizing, manipulating, altering, and even creating poisons. However, in my past life, I only had the absorption ability, and its range was very small. I need to absorb a large amount of poison to enhance my power. As soon as he arrived at his destination, it was clear that a hospital was naturally the best place to absorb poison. Chen Bai couldn't hide his surprise at the scene before him. People inside the hospital were frantically running from a horde of zombies chasing them from behind. "Run, help, it's madness, pure madness." Someone even stopped to warn him, "Those are zombies, the world is about to end," which surprised Chen Bai slightly. Zombies. Then, a cold smirk crossed his lips. He remembered now. In my past life, I heard that 3 strange incidents occurred in Jiangchen before the trials began. One of them was a sealed-off hospital. A guess formed in his mind. This must be that sealed hospital. The person who had warned him was surprised. "Hey, why are you still?" he started, watching as Chen Bai charged inside without a second thought. "Looks like I'm right on time," Chen Bai said, filled with excitement as he plunged into the crowd of zombies. He grabbed one by the face with his bare hands and used it as a shield to push deeper into the hospital. Chen Bai quickly used his skill on the zombie. Skill, Virus Monarch is absorbing poison. Poison successfully absorbed. Poison points 1. Your abilities can be strengthened. Receiving these notifications made him even more thrilled. Excellent. Lifting his head to look at the other zombies crazily rushing toward him, Chen Bai announced, "None of you are escaping today." At the same time, in a 4th-floor hospital restroom, a zombie was pounding on a stall door. Liu Feng couldn't hide his panic at the relentless banging. "We're done for. We're done for. This door won't hold much longer." Knowing a zombie was trying to break in terrified him even more. "It's hopeless. We're going to die." In his extreme panic, Liu Feng suddenly turned to the person beside him. Su Xin was still lost in grief. Morning head nurse Li, but she looked up in confusion when she saw his unstable expression. "Liu Feng, what's wrong with you?" Extreme fear was eroding Liu Feng's sanity. "I've been chasing you for so long, and you never agreed. Since we're about to die anyway, why not let me enjoy myself a little before the end?" This threw Su Sin into a complete panic. Liu Feng, you're insane. What nonsense are you talking about? But at that moment, a zombie's hand smashed through the door. Seeing the zombie about to lunge at them, Liu Feng panicked even more. Why is it so fast? I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Liu Feng suddenly grabbed Su Sin's wrist, yanking her forward so hard she stumbled. Without a moment's hesitation, he used her as a human shield to escape the zombie. I don't want to die. Liu Feng scrambled straight for the fourth-floor window. Desperate to escape, he could only think, the fourth floor. In an instant, both Liu Feng and the zombie lunged out of the window. He was luckier than the zombie, which fell to the ground below. He landed on a window ledge, unconscious. A few minutes later, after the zombies on the lower floor had been cleared out, Chen Bai quickly made his way to the fourth-floor room. He silently looked down from above before leaping into action, flinging the zombie off of Su Sin. Surveying the scene, he deduced, it's too late. She's a nurse. Looks like she was just bitten. He muttered to himself, while placing his hand on her, and activating his toxin absorption skill. It should still be in time. He decided to try and draw out all the zombie toxin from her body, to see if he could prevent her from turning. Focus began to return to Su Sin's eyes. She suddenly sat up, startling Chen Bai slightly. It worked. Confused, Su Sin turned to look at him. Thank you, she said. Chen Bai moved closer and took her hand. It seems you haven't lost all consciousness yet. Su Sin admitted frankly, yes, I know what happened. Hearing this, he immediately made a proposal. Then I have something I need your help with. She quickly covered her body, her torn clothes making her cry out of embarrassment. No problem. But I think I should find some new clothes to change into first. But Chen Bai was already out of patience and pulled her along. There's no more time. Take me directly to the place in this hospital with the most potent toxins. They quickly arrived at the requested room. Su Sin hastily explained, the laboratory has the most toxins in the hospital. All clinical samples from patients are tested here. Chen Bai, holding a few items, stepped forward. This will be enough. Seeing his strange actions, she asked in a panic, what are you planning to do? But Chen Bai only gave a cold command, be quiet, as he activated his toxin absorption skill. He felt a thrill as he perceived the strings of data he was continuously absorbing. Toxin absorption, early stage enteritis. Points acquired extend. Toxin absorption, early stage influenza virus. Points acquired x 0.7. Toxin absorption, early stage herpes zoster virus. Points acquired x9. Toxin absorption, early stage unnamed virus. Points acquired x10. Chen Bai felt a surge of power fill the palm of his hand. It's all been absorbed. Next, I'll use all these viruses to strengthen my zombie virus. He could feel his genetic code being flooded with countless viruses, the progenitor virus, the blacklight virus, the original zombie virus, the coronavirus, that virus. Chen Bai calculated internally it seems. The blacklight virus provides the biggest boost to physical strength. The blacklight zombie virus has evolved. All blacklight attributes increased by 10. Ability power increased by 200. Congratulations, you have acquired the blacklight virus. A crucial core ability has evolved. Chen Bai closed his eyes, contemplating the blacklight virus. This is likely the core evolutionary stage of the virus. Just then, a frantic Su Sin ran over to announce that a zombie was at the door. Seeing a zombie shambling towards them, he simply instructed her, stay here. Don't run around. In a flash, Chen Bai rushed forward and grabbed the zombie's neck. He could easily feel that he was faster than before. This zombie weighs 150 kilograms, yet I didn't even use my full strength. Chen Bai muttered excitedly, this is a good chance to test my new ability. A second later, black smoke began to emerge from Chen Bai's hand. It then formed into tentacle-like wisps that wrapped tightly around the zombie's body, causing it immense pain as it could only open its mouth to roar. Instantly it was completely devoured, much to Chen Bai's delight. Devouring evolution. After it was done, the power flowed back into his body. Absorption and devouring. Chen Bai stretched his joints slightly while calculating, not bad. The absorption speed is very fast, and I can even feel my stamina being restored. Su Sin, still reeling from what she had just witnessed, stammered, you. What he just did? Chen Bai looked down on her arrogantly and asked, what about it? Su Sin could only let out a weary sigh. After regaining her composure, she immediately made a proposition, save me. I trust you won't harm me, and I will help you keep your secret. Chen Bai agreed without much thought. Alright. My name is Chen Bai. Su Sin simply replied, Su Sin. Just then, he heard a loud noise coming from somewhere. This is... Chen Bai easily figured it out. The army and police are here. They must have sealed this place off and are dealing with the zombies. We should go too. Hurrying down the hospital corridor, he urgently said, take me to the rooftop. We'll leave from there. Su Sin, being pulled along behind him, could only say loudly, can't we just leave normally? We haven't turned into zombies. Because he was busy pulling her, Chen Bai was unaware that he was being targeted. I don't have time for interruptions. Just, before he could finish his sentence, he was stunned to see a zombie right in front of him. His grip on Su Sin's arm suddenly loosened. Before she could react, Chen Bai pushed her backward, saving her from the zombie. Su Sin was stunned by what she saw. Both of them were blocked by a giant, mutated zombie. Thanks to his ability, the wound on his arm was already showing signs of healing. Chen Bai suddenly felt incredibly excited by the situation. Excellent, so they can mutate. He smiled and wondered, I wonder how the blacklight virus will evolve if I absorb you. As soon as the thought crossed his mind, the zombie charged at Chen Bai. But with a powerful push from the balls of his feet, he launched himself into the air, dodging the zombies. Surprise attack. From mid-air, Chen Bai delivered a powerful kick to the zombie's head. However, he soon saw it quickly stabilize itself. The zombie abruptly spun around and swung its arm, nearly hitting the falling Chen Bai with its attack. He leaped back, simultaneously grabbing a nearby zombie. The mutated zombie roared with even greater fury. As Chen Bai absorbed the zombie in his hand, he muttered an assessment. It seems its power level is on par with mine. After finishing the absorption, he immediately raised his hand and activated a skill. Just as the mutated zombie charged, he threw a punch straight into its body. The punch, though not at full power, was enough to pin the zombie to a nearby wall. The force of the impact surprised even Chen Bai, who had to brace himself to keep from being thrown back. Chen Bai's eyes remained fixed on the zombie as it slowly slumped down, but it wasn't long before it managed to lift its head again. The situation made Chen Bai wary. This isn't good. If this drags on, I'll get injured. Just then, the glass of an emergency case was shattered. A trembling Su Sin pulled out a rescue axe from inside. Chen Bai was startled when he heard her shout his name. As the axe flew towards him, he saw the mutated zombie lunging for another attack. Chen Bai quickly leaped high into the air to dodge the zombie's blow, which allowed him to neatly catch the axe. Well done, Su Sin. This time, it was Chen Bai's turn to charge, landing a powerful kick on the zombie. Let's end this quickly. Claws and the cold steel of the axe clashed. The end result was preordained. The zombie was heavily wounded by a single slash. Chen Bai swung the axe again, and the two sides crashed into each other, trading blows and skills. Gathering his strength for another charge, Chen Bai saw the zombie preparing to leap. He quickly swung the axe and roared, "Die," before hurling it with all his might into the creature's head. A moment later, both were exhausted. But an expression of extreme excitement was etched on Chen Bai's face. Still breathing, huff. Exploiting his advantage, he retrieved the axe. Chen Bai arrogantly planted a foot on the zombie's head, warning, if you don't replenish your health, your grave is going to be a tall one. Enraged, it took advantage of Chen Bai's momentary distraction and stabbed its claws straight through his body. He spat out a mouthful of blood, causing Su Sin, who was watching the fight, to panic. The axe clattered to the ground. Despite his body trembling uncontrollably, Chen Bai looked down at the zombie's hands embedded in his chest with amusement. Ha ha, so close to death and you're still not running. Truly. He looked up and asked, you want to tear me in two? It was only then that the mutated zombie realized something was wrong. Purple tentacles erupted from Chen Bai's body. They shot out, wrapping tightly around the mutated zombie. Before the creature could react, the tentacle skill activated, Evolve Devour. Chen Bai grew even more excited as he looked down at the zombie being consumed. Scared now. It's too late. From a short distance away, Su Sin witnessed the entire horrific event, her face turning pale. Just as he landed. Back on the ground, Chen Bai received a notification, devouring complete. Plague monster assimilated. Phase 2, zombie hunt. Blacklight virus is evolving. His hands began to visibly transform. Absorb zombie ability, bone worm. Chen Bai smiled faintly as he felt the changes in his body. Devour, then evolve. Looking at the power he now held in his hands, he couldn't help but think, choosing the blacklight virus was definitely the right move. Just then, the sound of countless hurried footsteps echoed from their direction. Armed forces raised their guns in unison. Is that a survivor over there? Put your hands up. Chen Bai was slightly surprised. The armed unit quickly formed a line and shouted a warning, I am counting down from 3. If you don't comply, we will open fire. But all of them already had their fingers on their triggers, ready to shoot. 3, 2. Knowing it was useless, Chen Bai simply swept Su Sin into his arms and said, we should go. The commander activated his advanced weapon the moment his countdown finished. 1. Fire. Chen Bai was already in motion, making a swift escape. He ignored the barrage of bullets being fired at him from behind. Su Sin quickly pointed in a direction and said, turn left up ahead is the emergency exit, we can get to the roof from there. Despite being repeatedly hit by bullets, Chen Bai continued to sprint forward. She grew increasingly worried about his condition. Chen Bai, you've been shot, but Chen Bai remained as calm as if nothing had happened. I know, You don't need to say it. Don't move. Cutting to the hospital rooftop, he kicked the door leading to it clean off its hinges. Stepping outside, Shinbai smiled and asked, "Where do you live?" Though a bit flustered, Susan answered honestly, the Zongfeng apartment complex on Nanbai North 4th Street. He smiled again. Okay. Before she could react, the world around her seemed to shake. Susan screamed in fear as Chen Bai simply charged forward, leaping effortlessly towards their destination. A while later, at the Zongfeng apartment complex on Nanbai North 4th Street, after the door was securely locked, Susan pointed in a direction and asked tentatively, "The bathroom is over there. Let me help you with your wounds." But Chen Bai casually refused. "The bullets aren't inside, so they've already healed. I'm fine." Despite this, she insisted firmly. "No way, let me see." He put on a flirtatious look and began to take off his clothes. "All right then." A moment later, inside the bathroom, as soon as he had taken off his shirts, Susan pointed shyly, "See, there are still marks here." Though there wasn't a single wound on Chen Bai's abs and chest, she still blushed and pointed out, "Your stomach and chest here. They haven't completely healed yet." Hearing this, he began to tease her. "If I were to eat you, I'd recover immediately. What's wrong? Want to offer yourself up?" Susan started to act cute. "You wouldn't want to eat me. If you wanted to, you would have already." Shinbai stepped closer to her and replied, "What a pity then. The only reason I didn't eat you before was because the circumstances weren't right." Without hesitation, he reached out and tore the clothes on Susan's body. "Right now is pretty good, quite suitable. So, are you willing to be eaten so I can recover?" She hastily looked away and stammered for an excuse. "A shower. Getting clean first makes for a tastier meal." Shinbai placed a deep kiss on Susan's lips with a word of approval. "Okay." Under the running shower head, the two exchanged passionate kisses. The embarrassing sounds from the bathroom were enough to drown out the ringing of the phone outside. No one noticed the phone screen constantly lighting up with notifications. All the messages were from one person, wanting to check on the situation. "Shinbai, where are you? Songdi the great hero is looking for you." "Hello, are you dead yet? Your roommate said you went to Jianqing First Hospital." As he walked, he recalled some things. Before the trials began in Jianqing, a few things happened, like the hospital being sealed, some areas exploding, and a monster invasion. I don't really understand these three events clearly. There was too little intelligence related to the trial period, and besides, no one paid much attention to it, just mentioning it randomly. Thinking of this, Shenbai could only sigh. What a headache. Just then, he received a phone call. "Susan, I'm going out to buy breakfast. I'll be back soon." Susan on the other end of the line, hurriedly informed him, "Shenbai, two people came looking for you. They say someone wants to see you." A name instantly popped into Shenbai's mind. Song Zihyun. Through the peephole, she saw two gangster-like men and quickly reported, "They don't look like good people." Saying Song Zihyun wants to see you must be a lie. Song Zihyun is the queen of Jianqing, Susan asked worriedly. "What should I do now?" Shenbai replied from the other end, "They're not lying. Tell them to wait outside the door for me to get back." This surprised her a little. Oh, okay. On his phone screen were countless missed calls and unread messages. "Hey, are you dead yet? Your friend said you went to Jianqing First Hospital. Are you okay? Reply quickly. What happened there? How are you now? This young lady can't protect you like this. You didn't really die, did you? Hey, I'm worried about you." Shenbai recalled to himself, Song Zihyun is the mother of my classmate, Songdi, who's always clinging to me. He couldn't hide his amusement as he read the messages. It seems the young miss went to her mother for help. Interesting. Besides, if Song Zihyun managed to find Susan's place, she must already know what happened. Looks like I have to meet her. A while later, a car arrived at a cold storage warehouse area. Song Zihyun went from having nothing to becoming a tycoon in Jianqing. She's a top-tier existence in both the underworld and legitimate businesses. After the trials, she awakened an rank talent, and the power she established came from her own strength. The man with a ponytail coldly invited Chen Bai out of the car. "Mr. Chen, this way." She eventually unified Jianqing in a three-way competition. The title queen of Jianqing is well deserved. The first person in the world to ever admire. Chen Bai sneered inwardly. But that's not the case now. If she can benefit from it, she will definitely use it. During this time, I can do more. Just then, a pair of high heels appeared coldly ahead in the cold storage warehouse corridor. Facing the woman before him, the bodyguard hurriedly bowed and reported, "Boss Song, Chen Bai is here." The queen of Jianqing, Song Zihyun, tilted her head and greeted him, "Student Chen, you've arrived. I'm sorry to have brought you all the way out here, but I really do have a few questions." "What can I do for you?" Shenbai asked. Zikong calmly walked over to adjust his clothes. "I came looking for you because Xiaoke ran home and told me you went to Jianqing First Hospital and lost contact." He asked me to help. She then put on a surprisingly charming and seductive demeanor. I had you brought here because I wanted to see what kind of man could make my Xiaoka so worried. What's so captivating about you? Chen Bai saw right through the act. I don't like beating around the bush. What is Ante Song's real purpose? Hearing this, Zikong showed a hint of appreciation. Very clever. In that case, I won't waste any more time. She made her offer with complete confidence. How about becoming my man? If you also like Xiaoka, you can even be my son-in-law. Chen Bai pointed out again, I feel you have another reason for trying to recruit me. This time, however, Zikong seemed a little displeased. Seeing student Chen Bai's heroic performance would make anyone take it. Liking to you. He was suddenly stunned as he realized she was talking about the hospital. Chen Bai grew more cautious as he asked, I remember that the hospital's surveillance and power systems were destroyed. How did you find out about me and get here so quickly? Zikong casually pressed the button for the first floor in the elevator. You shouldn't underestimate this Ante Song. My people were able to restore everything from the moment you walked from the main hall to the surveillance room. She nonchalantly held up her phone. Besides, I happen to have one of my people inside the hospital. The phone displayed a message from Ali, I'm trapped in a hospital room. There are a lot of zombies outside the door. Zikong had replied, wait a moment, I'll send people over immediately. Ali quickly responded, I'm in room 523 on the 5th floor. Zikong had replied, got it. But at 10:20, Ali sent another message, sister, I'm fine now. Someone incredibly strong came and killed all the zombies. Zikong had been skeptical at the time. What are you talking about? It's true, Ali replied, and immediately sent a short video clip she had recorded of Chen Bai pulling Su Xin away as they escaped. Zikong raised an eyebrow. Some Zikongs, luck isn't half bad. Among the survivors brought out by the army this morning, I happened to spot a familiar face. Su Xin Liufeng. The moment Chen Bai heard that name, he was taken aback. He recalled the previous night with Su Xin, lying in bed as she recounted what had happened. There was another person in the restroom, a man named Liu Feng, Su Xin had explained. Instead of protecting me, he pushed me towards the zombies. Lying next to him, Su Xin added, yes, he shoved me at a zombie and then escaped through the window. But then another zombie jumped on his head, breaking the glass and knocking him out. Chen Bai thought for a moment. Was he the guy left hanging from the window? I thought he was dead. Su Xin cursed angrily, it would be better if he was dead. I hate him so much. He simply responded with an in agreement. Then, blushing, Su Xin changed the subject. I'm feeling better now, Chen Bai. Let's continue. Chen Bai opened one eye and looked at her teasingly. Let's not. I didn't expect the first time would make you scream so miserably. Su Xin replied, flustered, I'm sorry. He softened his tone to comfort her. It's okay. We have plenty of time. Without hesitation, Su Xin climbed on top of Chen Bai, going on the offensive. No, I am determined to satisfy my savior tonight. Back in the present, in the freight elevator of a cold storage warehouse. Chen Bai's voice cut through the silence. Ante Song, can you tell me where the survivors are being quarantined? Zikong used it as a condition. Become my man, and I'll tell you. But he just laughed. Ante Song, you underestimate me too much. She dismissed his comment. Is that so? A small piece of information like that is, of course, not enough to trade for your help. However, I can still. Chen Bai stepped forward, interrupting her. No, you've misunderstood. What I mean is, you know too little about me. If you knew more, you'd understand. I can't be your man. Without hesitation, Chen Bai unleashed his power. You should be my woman. Ali rushed forward to protect Zikong, who asked in shock, is this a zombie's plague toxin? He retracted his power. Wrong. Chen Bai brazenly offered his own condition. Become my woman, and I'll tell you what this is. This infuriated Zikong, who stepped forward herself. You underestimate me, student Chen Bai. This little trick alone isn't enough to make me submit. Besides, you already have your pretty little nurse. Are you still interested in an old lady like me? He stepped closer, lifting her chin with his hand. A woman as beautiful as you. Who wouldn't be moved? A ruler can be long or short, but at least before the apocalypse, you can do a lot more to help me than Su Xin can. Zikong Scott. The apocalypse is just a few zombies. Chen Bai tilted his head, feigning confusion. But the zombies have already shown so many tiers of evolution. The moment she heard the word tears, her expression sharpened. Tears. It seems you know quite a lot. He admitted it frankly. More than you can imagine. Hearing this, Zikong had no choice but to concede a step. Neither of us has the personality to easily submit to others. Let's cooperate. How about I exchange my help for your information? Chen Bai extended his hand without hesitation. Deal. It seems conquering the Queen of Jiangchen won't be so simple after all. She affirmed his statement as she shook his hand. Of course not. Zisheng suddenly stepped closer and added, however, I truly am looking forward to a man who can appear and conquer me. Do your best, student Chen Bei. Just then, a loud explosion erupted, drawing the attention of Chen Bei's group. A noise from the warehouse. What was that? Zisheng frowned, recalling the arrangement from yesterday. Last night, Commander Huan of the Jianjin military region sent Zhao Liancheng to negotiate with me. They requisitioned a section of the cold storage to freeze live zombies and to quarantine the lucky survivors rescued from the hospital. She couldn't hide her own worry. The gunshots. It can only be them. But what could have happened? There were only over 30 zombies locked in the cold storage. They should be barely able to move. And they have half a company stationed here. Standing just behind them, Chen Bai also frowned in thought. Zombies become sluggish in low-temperature environments. I didn't expect this to be discovered so quickly. But they have absolutely no idea that the mutation rate for zombies increases in extreme environments. He quickly linked this to what he could remember, along with a comment from a video clip at the time. Damn, what is this? Humanity remembers the day it was dominated by 20. Why is the image so blurry? Is this last century's resolution? A cold storage in the suburbs. A mutated zombie. A suspicion suddenly formed in Chen Bai's mind. Could this be the location of the suburban bombing? Because of this, he became incredibly excited as they set off. Let's go, we'll go take a look. Chen Bai wondered to himself, excellent. What kind of mutated zombie will it be? On the other side, a fierce battle was raging between the soldiers and a mutated zombie. Grenade, throw it in its mouth. The pin was pulled and the grenade was immediately thrown. The mutated zombie, having no idea what the object was, could only stare at it. A massive, sky-shaking explosion occurred, bringing with it a thick cloud of smoke. From within the dense smoke, the giant silhouette of the creature could be seen, appearing and disappearing. It emerged once more and casually snatched a soldier. The highest, ranking officer, Zhao Liancheng, could only give a helpless order, our weapons can't deal effective damage. Everyone, form small groups and disperse. Split up to draw the monster's attention. We must buy time until reinforcements arrive, understand? Just then, Zisheng appeared from a distance and demanded of Zhao Liancheng, tell your men to stop and fall back. This greatly surprised him. Boss Som, what do you mean? She smiled and explained, my point is, you people can't even injure that mountain of meat. Calling for more of your men will just be a senseless sacrifice. Zisheng then suggested they protect the cold storage staff and quickly evacuate the quarantined survivors from the hospital. Liancheng stubbornly refused. No, this monster's speed is not slow. If no one holds it back, no one can escape. On the other side, a soldier named Lu Li had no chance to escape and was about to die at the hands of the zombie. Zisheng remained incredibly calm and said, just do as I say, Zhao Liancheng. Don't worry about the monster. Someone is already on their way to deal with it. Chen Bai appeared in a flash, stopping the zombie's attack with one hand and saving Lu Li's life. He couldn't help but marvel. Just a casual grab and it almost dislocated my joint. I didn't expect it to have grown to this level. It seems I can't face it head-on. As the zombie raised its other arm to attack Chen Bai, he lunged forward, striking first and interrupting its attack. The zombie staggered and fell with a heavily injured arm, but it quickly got back up to face Chen Bai once more. Not far away, Zisheng and Liancheng were watching the one-sided battle between him and the zombie. Liancheng was in disbelief at what was happening before him. What in the hell is he? Are you raising a monster? Zisheng grew even more smug and boastful. What are you talking about, Zhao Liancheng? That's a person. He is my partner. Chen Bai stood on a pile of meat and said to the zombie, you can't eat this. While using his devouring evolution, he told it, giving you this stuff would be a waste. Seeing the pile of meat before it being gradually absorbed by Chen Bai's power, the zombie flew into a rage and charged. The powerful punch created a shockwave that affected Zisheng and Liancheng. But Chen Bai had already somersaulted away, and at the same time, received a system notification. Devouring complete. A large amount of frozen beef has been devoured. Blacklight virus has evolved. Strength and endurance have increased. He couldn't help but exclaim, as expected of high-grade beef. Not only did it restore my stamina, but it could even level me up. The zombie was now trying to replenish itself, a sign that it had expended quite a bit of energy. The zombie, completely unaware that Chen Bai was right above its head, was still crawling around searching for him. He took that opportunity to quickly dive down and attack. Next, it's time for you to die. Hearing the voice, the zombie finally noticed him. But in the end, it was struck by a heavy blow from Chen Bai. He easily used his strength to pierce through its head. The zombie immediately reached out its hands to grab him. While Chen Bai was absorbing it, he just calmly said, it's about time. He then swung his arm, using his power to bind the zombie's hands tightly. It was only then that Liancheng came to a stunned conclusion. He absolutely cannot be human. Chen Bai smiled faintly and said, Evol. As soon as the word was spoken, that grotesque power of his rapidly grew longer. The tentacles wrapped tightly around the zombie's body. Witnessing this scene, Lian Chang once again concluded, there's no way he's human. He decided to take advantage of the situation. That's right, while both monsters are immobile. Lian Chang quickly took out his radio. This is Zhao Lianqing. Has our support arrived yet? I'm requesting approval for a coordinate missile. A hand gently placed on his shoulder stopped him. Lian Chang was too terrified to speak. Zikong smiled as she approached him. Calm down, Zhao Lianqing. Think carefully. He is helping us right now. Moreover, he saved you. She reminded him coldly, don't do anything stupid, to avoid a bad outcome for everyone. 10 minutes later, the machine guns were locked and loaded. Chen Bai could feel the army surrounding him. Rounds are loaded. All units on alert. Lian Chang spoke into his radio, exasperating Zikong. Commander Zhao, don't forget what you said, she snapped. He replied shamelessly, I know. Long as he doesn't harm anyone, I won't give the order to attack. Meanwhile, Chen Bai was feeling a surge of power coursing through his body. System notification, first time acquisition of Rosen zombie variant. Strength type, elementary level. Virus points 500. System notification, unlocked virus talent, virus transmission. He slowly opened his eyes, glancing around. One of his hands had completely transformed. System notification, devoured rare variant. In phase 1 of the powerful Rosen zombie, all blacklight virus abilities have been greatly improved. None of it affected his movement. System notification, decomposed to acquire Rosen ability. Strength type, heavy hammer ability. Staring at his transformed hand, Chen Bai thought to himself, this evolution is a significant boost. He was thrilled with the new power he had obtained. There was only one small regret. I can feel the immense power in this heavy hammer, but it's a pity there's nothing to test it on right now. Afterward, Chen Bai quickly retracted his power. That's right, this is today's greatest harvest. He took out a strange object called a Rosen core. He was extremely satisfied with the item, knowing that the Rosen core was an incredibly rare material that could be used for crafting equipment. If he could find a way to control it, he could even use it to construct an infinitely growing fortress wall. Should I feed it a little something? Chen Bai wondered excitedly, and try to plant a mountain of Rosen. Just then, he heard Zikong call his name. She gestured to the woman beside her. Let me introduce you. This is Lu Lai. At the introduction, Lu Li eagerly stepped forward. Chen Bai recognized her immediately. Lu Lai. I know you. You're a well-known figure in Genshin, very famous online. You're the one who was filming in the hospital, right? She replied excitedly, yes, that was me. Thank you, you saved me twice now. Chen Bai didn't think much of it and changed the subject. It was nothing. Did you happen to record the fight when it killed the Rosen? Lily answered honestly, I'm sorry, it's an occupational hazard. I can delete it. No, he said. Since you've saved it, don't release it. I have a use for it. She quickly agreed. Okay, got it. At that moment, Lian Chang interrupted their conversation. This young man is Chen Bai. Commander Huang of the military district has requested that you report everything you know to us. Chen Bai finally paid attention to the man. The name Commander Huang. Huang Xingqiu. That's a name one doesn't easily forget. After the trials began, the awakened were exploited like dogs and pigs. At first, they were placated with appeals to patriotic duty, but later it just became arbitrary abuse and curses. I was one of them, so desperate I couldn't even get a proper meal. The ridiculous thing was, anyone who tried to leave was branded a traitor and hunted down by him, forced to the point where I had no choice but to leave. Dujin. Chen Bai asked suspiciously, Boss Song, do I have to report to them? Zikong was firm. Of course not. I haven't heard your report yet. He smiled knowingly. Then you understand what I mean. Alright, let me handle it. Seeing Zikong step forward, Lian Chang tried another tactic. Mr. Chen, Boss Song, I hope you can fulfill your duties as citizens of Longguo. She stopped abruptly in front of the sandbags and sneered, Duty, my ass, Zhao. Don't you dare use that tone with me. You're not even worthy of your commander title. Go tell Huang Xingqiu that if he has a problem, he can come find me here himself. Her words left Lian Chang speechless. Oh. Commander Zhao, a subordinate ran up at that moment. The quarantined personnel over there are causing a disturbance. What are your orders? Hearing this, Chen Bai seized the opportunity. Quarantined personnel. Is there someone named Liu Feng among them? Lian Chang turned. Is there? The subordinate replied. Flustered, yes, sir, he's the one causing the most trouble. Chen Bai immediately demanded, Commander Zhao, I want to see the person named Liu Feng. Lian Chang ordered his subordinate, bring him here. Yes, sir, the man replied, rushing off. A short while later, Liu Feng swaggered over. Commander Zhao, you were looking for me. Did my father call you? My father is Liu Huinum, the vice president of hospital no. 1. Just then, a hand gently touched his shoulder. That hand gently used its power to transmit the virus. After achieving his goal, Chen Bai said, I was the one looking for you. Someone asked me to pass on a message. This left Liu Feng slightly confused. You are. He leaned in closer and whispered, last night in bed, Su Xin told me that because you pushed her into the zombie horde before she wanted to say. You can go to hell. The man was stunned in disbelief. How do you know that? She can't possibly still be alive. But as soon as the message was delivered, Chen Bai immediately stepped back and shouted, everyone, get back, he's about to turn into a zombie. Liu Feng roared in fury, you're the one turning into a zombie. Are you kidding me? Perhaps because he was gradually transforming, he couldn't control his anger and lunged to attack. Right, you bastard, you dare to mess with me. How could a difficult woman like Su Xin be with you? Sleep with you. Finally, Liu Feng transformed into a zombie and pounced at Chen Bai. His arm quickly morphed, forming a straight punch. With a single blow, Chen Bai easily sent him flying. He glanced at his transformed hand and remarked, not bad, much more powerful than I thought. While Lianzhan was still gaping in astonishment on the side, one punch. Is he a Superman? Chen Bai didn't pay it any mind and turned to Zisheng. Let's go, boss Song. Your performance can be considered up to standard. When we get back, I can tell you a few things. She walked over and said, from now on, you can just call me Zisheng or Sister Song. This piqued his interest. Oh, why is that? Zisheng smiled and took Chen Bai's arm, saying, I don't think being your partner is a bad deal. Is it too late to become your person now? He just replied cryptically, that will depend on your value and your performance. The white car sped down the empty road. Zhejiang, in the car, was still trying to be seductive. Perfect timing, Mr. Chen, please come to my house for dinner. Chen Bai didn't refuse but simply requested, don't bother me until we get to your house. She agreed without hesitation. All right. He then began to focus his mind on another matter. It's time to open the rewards. Let's see if there are any good items from defeating the meat mountain. The system screen immediately appeared. Opening the item revealed 2 skill books. It seems his luck wasn't bad. The information was instantly displayed by the system. Bloodthirsty Berserk active, all attributes tripled, duration 10 minutes. Cooldown 1 day, during which all attributes are reduced by 50. But Chen Bai wasn't very interested. For me, the cons of this item outweigh the pros. The system continued to display more information. Muscle augmentation passive, muscle mass increases significantly, base strength growth efficiency is doubled. He thought it over, this one won't work either. Based on my past life, using it turns you into a muscle monster, and your flexibility drops sharply. Although I won't use them, these 2 skill books are very valuable in the early stages of the trial. They're not bad for either building a force or buying people's loyalty. Chen Bai then saw the system display, 6 gold coins, 35 silver coins, 6 copper coins, so he decided. Speaking of establishing a force, it's about time to make an announcement. The reward for killing the meat pile is 6 gold coins, just enough to create a chat group. I can use the chat group to summon the early cultivators, helping them build a solid foundation before the trial begins. In my past life, the final stage of the trial was too complex because of the formations, so establishing a force before the trial begins is extremely important. The system asked, do you want to start creating a chat room? He unhesitatingly pressed yes 5 gold coins instead of no. The system then displayed a prompt, you are creating chat room 1, please select a name optional, if skipped, the system will use the number as the name. That Bai decided to skip it. Finally he received a notification, you have created chat room 1. He could now almost see the future as he faced his enemy. Heroes, I will re-establish the White Demon Castle and turn it into a divine kingdom. And what about you? After a while, Disham frowned and asked, it's not enough. Chen Bai, let's get to the main point. How can I become your person? Chen Bai sat on the chair and proposed brazenly, first is ability, I don't want useless people. Second is loyalty, like a dog to its master, absolute loyalty. Hearing this, she hesitated for a moment but still affirmed, loyalty, I can do that. Disham then added proudly, as for ability, I feel I definitely meet the standard. Power, money, status, injunction no one can compare to me. Chen Bai smirked, thinking to himself, you will become the most despicable dog at my feet. 3 hours later, at Song Zisham's private villa, she propped her chin on her hand and mumbled the information she had received. Universal trial, over 90% of humans turn into monsters, gaining a talent makes one an evolver, and weapons and a large amount of electronic equipment will become useless. Chen Bai directly interrupted her, this is all the information I can give you. This information should be enough for you to come up with a plan and seize the opportunity, right? In addition, he added, when the trial begins, the rules and values will be completely renewed. The meaning of your power, status, and money will only be to make your servants slightly more outstanding. Otherwise, they would have no value. The thought of her, and her daughter being put up for auction made Zikang tense. The next auction items, the former queen and princess of Jiangqing. Taking home a high-status woman like the Queen to ride is something the trial members have long dreamed of. At that moment, she asked, "What's the difference between being your loyal dog and being a plaything in the hands of others?" Chen Bai explained calmly, "One is a playground where you can wield your power. The other is a cage where a master who has no scruples about you will place restrictions on you. The difference is that I will always be stronger than you, and above you." Hearing this, Zikong tossed her hair back. "I feel that if I hesitate any longer, I will miss this important opportunity." She then turned and walked forward. Without any hesitation, Zikong knelt before Chen Bai. "I pledge my loyalty to you, master." Her submission made him more excited than ever. I have to say, her reputation and status give her immense value. This is truly exhilarating. Chen Bai bent down and lifted her chin. "Show me more of your charm. Also, I have some matters I need you to handle." Elsewhere, Lu Li and Chang'er both received messages simultaneously. The notification came from the number 1 chat group. Chang'er was a little confused when she received the message from Zikong. "Chang'er, have Lu Li send you the video of Chen Bai, then take her home. She's been through too much terror these past 2 days, and needs a good rest. Afterward, find someone to use the post Chen Bai sent you and put it up on the forums. The title is To the Pioneers. The user ID for the post should be The Pioneer Has Arrived." Chang'er turned to relay the message to Lu Li. "Lu Li, Boss Song said to send me the video of Chen Bai, and then I'm to take you home to rest." Lu Li was puzzled. "Go home? Isn't there anything I can help with?" Chang'er explained, "Boss Song said you've been through it. Lot of fright these past 2 days and wants you to go home to rest well and recover your spirits." Hearing this, Lu Li smiled and agreed. "Okay, Miss Chang'er. Although I nearly died at the hands of a zombie today, the psychological impact was much less than the first time I saw one." She couldn't help but remember the moment Chen Bai saved her from the zombie's deadly blow. "I don't know if it's because my mind has accepted the possibility of dying to a zombie, or if it's Mr. Chen Bai's strength that puts people at ease." In another location, a phone was ringing. Butter. Chen Bai picked it up and knew immediately who it was. "Oh, Song Cat." On the other end of the line, Songka was walking, frowning as she asked, "Hello. Sister Chang'er said Mom told you to come home. Is something wrong?" He replied with a smile, "It's me." The voice on the other end of the line instantly became frantic. "Chen Bai, why do you have my mother's phone? Where is my mother?" Chen Bai raised an eyebrow, glancing down at the person below him before urging the person on the phone. "She busy working on one thing while eating another. She doesn't have time to talk. Come back and we'll talk. It's very important." Songka tried to change the subject. "Fine, and you, Chen Bai, you wait for me at home. I sent you so many messages, and you didn't even reply." But the line had already gone dead. He hung up. She was filled with indignation. "That hateful Chen Bai. Sooner or later, I'll make you fall at my feet." Back with Chen Bai, Zikong, still kneeling on the floor, inquired, "Oh, will Master protect my daughter as well?" Chen Bai casually stroked her head. "Her abilities are insufficient, and her personality has been spoiled by you. But, if you work hard enough, I can guarantee that she will not turn into a monster before the trials begin." Zikong looked at him with an adoring expression. "Thank you, Master." The scene changed to a secret warehouse in the suburbs. Songka raised an eyebrow. "Mom, you weren't deceived by Chen Bai, were you? You actually believed something so ridiculous." Sitting beside her, Zikong said coldly, "I stopped you from seeing Chen Bai last night because of this. After you get out of the car, don't talk. Just watch obediently." Despite her doubts, Songka could only obey. Nearby, Chang'er was reporting to Chen Bai. "Mr. Chen, I spent last night checking every location in Zhengchen with rumors of zombies and monsters. I finally found this place. It was originally an underground casino, but now the dealers and players have all turned into zombies. There are about 160 of them. I didn't find any of those special meat mountain types." He gave a satisfied nod to show he understood. Chen Bai then looked up, carefully observing the place. A zombie slaughterhouse. No, that can't be it. The hospital outbreak was contained indoors. The meat mountains are extremely difficult to kill. This is a remote, secluded area. It would be difficult for information about anything happening here to be noticed and spread. He suddenly turned his head and asked, "You went to all the rumored locations, but you only found zombies here?" Chang'er replied honestly, "Yes, sir." Chen Bai seemed to have figured something out. It seems someone else is still collecting zombies. The place where he's arranging them is probably a zombie slaughtering ground. The army only collected a few dozen zombies, but this person wants to gather all the zombies and monsters. The thought ignited his interest. What a kind-hearted warrior. Or perhaps someone who knows some information about the leader. This is truly making me look forward to what's next. Chen Bai excitedly cracked his knuckles and gave the order. "Open the door." Upon receiving the command, the people in front immediately pulled the warehouse door open. Just as expected, the horde of zombies crazily rushed out of the warehouse. They all charged towards Chen Bei in unison. With a single kick, he easily sent a lunging zombie flying. While Su Xin was frantically capturing every move, in contrast, Songdi was still too shocked to speak. A long while later, Chen Bai used his virus absorption skill. He stood arrogantly atop the pile of zombie corpses, listening to the system notification that he had eliminated over 300 zombies. Congratulations on obtaining a title. System prompt, Zombie Hunter A. All attributes 5, damage to zombies increased by 5. System prompt, acquired 500 samples of the zombie virus. Points can be used to exchange for the zombie virus serum formula in the zombie virus talent tree. Chen Bai was a bit surprised to receive the serum formula. This also made him incredibly excited. The zombie virus serum formula is truly a good thing. Even those who awaken special abilities will have trouble with zombies. After all, not everyone is immune to the virus or has a strong enough constitution to resist it. When the system panel displayed unlock zombie virus serum formula. Yes 300 points no, Chen Bai chose yes without hesitation. Afterward, he stood at the warehouse entrance and waved over Zisham's group. Come in here. Do you still remember what I told you before we set out? While Songdi was still incessantly nauseous, the other three, including Zisham, were all ready and remembered. She repeatedly tapped a baseball bat into her palm, repeating, using cold weapons to eliminate zombies will significantly reduce the probability of turning into a monster during the trial. If you kill a zombie with your bare hands without getting injured, you definitely won't turn into a monster. Chen Bai then dragged out a zombie. Good, let me see your strength. One for each of you. Who's first? Shuanger adjusted herself slightly and volunteered, me. As he let the zombie charge, she also rushed forward. To attack without hesitation. In a brief instant, Shuanger had already used a wrestling move to flip the zombie over her head, ruthlessly slamming it to the ground. This broke the zombie's neck, causing it to cough up blood and die. Chen Bai was very appreciative of this style. Fast, ruthless, and precise. A while later, it was Zisham's turn. She used the bat to strike the zombie hard, and with another ruthless blow, she successfully eliminated it. But Chen Bai was a little dissatisfied. Not enough strength. You brought it down, but it took more than 10 strikes to finish it. After another long moment, a different zombie was killed. Chen Bai walked over, looking at Su Xin lying under the zombie, panting heavily. He commented impartially, too little strength, you got hit back by the zombie, but you relied on your familiarity with the human body's structure to fight back and survive. On the other side, Zizham tried to calm her daughter. Songji, there's only one left for you. But Songji was so scared she wet herself. She clutched the baseball bat and sobbed, I can't do it, I can't. Chen Bai directly judged, can't fight, and even peed her pants from fear. A failure. Then he coldly called, Song Zisham, come here. Zisham, who was comforting her daughter, heard him and quickly turned. Coming. Chen Bai walked forward and gave an order. Shuanger has been to all the places with rumors of zombies and monsters but found nothing. That's not normal. Go and investigate it clearly. Although she was worried about the person behind her, she still obediently replied, yes. Zisham was still uneasy and asked tentatively, Chen Bai, about my daughter, Songdi. He replied without turning his head, too pathetic. I don't have time to bring her along to train. Arrange her training yourself. Zisham was still restless, but without Master's ability to eliminate the virus. Chen Bai directly interrupted her by handing her a piece of paper. This is for you. This made Zisham even more puzzled. This is. When she realized what it was, she couldn't hide her astonishment. The real zombie virus serum formula. The procedure is so complex. Chen Bai revealed calmly, you can also add other things to the formula to create your own variations. That's the important part of the recipe. Zisham clutched the formula tightly in her hand with delight and replied, thank you for your trust, Master. I will definitely do my best to complete the mission you've given me and will also protect the formula well. He ordered with satisfaction, go do your work. Tell her to take me back. She bowed respectfully in obedience. Yes, I will have Shuanger take Master back. A long while later, Chen Bai stood alone, checking his phone. The invitation is sent out has probably been seen by many people. I wonder if anyone has contacted me yet. The phone screen displayed a series of messages. I am the craziest person on the green grassland. I've met the White Emperor. The Green Emperor has returned to his throne. Dog head emoji 30 years fighting cancer. I heard you can solve my worries. I have a difficult math problem. I wonder if you're up for it. Oh, pickup truck. Hello, first person. EM a Vine. A Resident Evil Vine. Professional Architect Forum. Image, Experience Grandma's Slap White Emperor, Patriarch of the Way of Lewdness. As the ancestor of the Evolvers, I warn you once again not to disclose information about Evolvers on social media. The Vine whose boss doesn't pay, not a bad imagination. Which mental hospital did you escape from? Want to try writing a novel? This left Chen Bai utterly speechless. What the hell is all this? But then, he suddenly came across a message. The person had sent 2 messages consecutively. "Big bro, I'm for real," a user messaged him. "What do you know? Why aren't you replying to my messages? Did you see them?" At this, Shenbai finally cheered up a little. It seemed not everyone was a fool. He had still gotten something out of his efforts. He scrolled through the messages with satisfaction before replying, reviewing the one-sided conversation that had been going on all day. "Big bro, are you there?" The user had first asked at 11:30 in the morning. An hour and a half later, he had tried again. "If you're there, please reply to me just once. What is this whole pioneer thing about anyway?" Shenbai finally typed back a simple question, "What is your ability?" The response was immediate and enthusiastic. "Big bro, you finally replied, my ability is mind control." A second later, a more hesitant message followed. "Wait a second, can I just say that casually?" "You can't," Shenbai replied. "But don't worry, I won't reveal it. You can find the contact information. For other pioneers on the unlocked board, search for chat group number 1. I've explained some basics in the documents there. After you've read them, come find me if you still have questions." A moment later, a notification confirmed that a user named Han Xiao had joined the group. "That's right, I'll change my name first," Han Xiao messaged. "Oh right, by D, can I add people?" "Who do you want to add?" Shenbai asked. "There's another person below named Misuka," Han Xiao explained. "He saw you weren't replying, so he started a private chat with me. He asked me what I knew, but I don't know anything, so he just ignored me." The name made Shenbai pause. "Misuka. It must be him." He grew excited as he suddenly remembered the man, the top-tier emperor of a evolver they called Suikun. Shenbai hastily typed a reply. "Yes, if you see other pioneers, you can invite them all." He couldn't hide his excitement when a new notification appeared. Misuka had joined the chat. At 7:30 that evening, Seekom's phone rang. "Luli, what's the situation?" she asked immediately. "Have you found anything?" Leaning against a nearby wall in a dark alley, Luli reported, "Yes. It's the work of the Jianqing City Lord. They've moved all the collected zombies to the main Kai container yard near the Red Pier." She looked worriedly down the alley. "He sent people to gather more information. The Rendezvous was supposed to be now, but they haven't returned. I think." Her voice trailed off as she realized the meeting spot was completely empty. "There's no need to wait any longer." Just then, 2 mangled corpses fell from above, landing with a sickening thud right in front of her. A figure looked down from a rooftop, unable to hold back a laugh at her terrified expression. He waved. "Hey." Luli trembled, a cold dread washing over her as she realized she had been discovered. Back at the villa, Chenbai received a message from a new group member named Liu Huai. "Hey. D, I just joined," the message read. "I've gained a lot after reading the documents, but there's something I still don't understand. My talent's description is a bit confusing. Could you take a look for me?" "Send it over," Chenbai replied. He read the talent's description, Yin Wood Body, Srank. It possessed endless vitality, allowing for an embodied soul and eternal life. However, activating its abilities came at a cost. The wood body reduced spirit by 1 point, and the iron soul reduced constitution by 1 point. And rank talent, Shenbai thought, impressed. He began to type his explanation. "The cost to activate your ability is quite steep. A normal person's initial stats are only around 3 to 5 points." "That's right," Liu Huai replied, "which is why I've been hesitating. If your spirit is higher than 3, Shenbai advised, you should spend the point to open the wood body. The principle is simple. Constitution is your foundation. Don't take a risk that ends up harming you. I have 5 points in spirit." "Thank you, Bai D." At that moment, the sound of hurried footsteps echoed through the hall. Shenbai looked up, puzzled, as Zai Kung rushed to a stop in front of him. "Why the hurry? What's wrong?" "Luli found out that all the collected zombies are being taken to the main Kai container yard," she explained anxiously. "But she's been captured. The other party is demanding that I come to negotiate." He slowly stood up, his expression turning serious. "The other party contacted you?" he questioned, his voice laced with suspicion. "Did Lu Li give you up?" Faced with his cold gaze, Zi Kung quickly knelt. "Master, Lu Li is someone I personally train. I am absolutely certain she would not betray me. Besides, she was only commanding from the rear. The problem probably lies with the people she sent to investigate." Hearing this, Shenbai's suspicion subsided slightly. "If that's the case, then I'll save her." "Thank you, Master Dicum," exclaimed, overjoyed. At the Menkai container yard, a man named Sing Meng lounged in a chair, arrogantly swirling a glass of red wine as he stared at the captured Lu Lai. "It seems you have some misunderstanding," he said with a smirk. "The only reason I haven't touched you is to give Song Zikong some face. If she chooses to submit after we meet, you will become my subordinate. If not, then you will all become my playthings." Tied tightly to a chair, Lu Li could only tremble in fear. He once again brought the glass of wine to her face, saying, "Come on, let me pour you another glass. You can't keep spitting it out." At Lu Li's feet lay a shattered wine glass, a clear warning from Xing Meng. If you refuse a polite offer, you'll face unpleasant consequences. No one noticed another person calmly cutting meat at the table. Chen Bai spoke calmly, interrupting their conversation. "That's not very gentlemanly. What if the young lady doesn't like to drink?" Xing Meng wondered doubtfully, when did this guy get here? Ignoring him, he took a plate of meat over to Lu Li. "Are you hungry? I've tried the steak, it's pretty good." He grew wary and began to back away. "You are?" Chen Bai gently fed her a piece and replied, "I've come to take her home." Xing Meng quickly regained his composure, sat down, and swirled the wine in his glass. "Did Song Zisheng send you?" "No. No, to be able to get this close without me noticing, you must be a first-rate individual." The ropes binding Lu Li were completely removed. Chen Bai smiled and urged her, "Go on, Zisheng is waiting for you in the car." Lu Li happily complied. "Yes." Witnessing this, Xing Meng could guess, it seems Song Zisheng is already your person. He admitted it frankly. "That's right." Hearing this, he stepped forward. "Interesting, very interesting." Xing Meng began to mock, the queen of Jianchen wouldn't be subdued so easily, would she? "You must have some very interesting methods." He poured 2 more glasses of wine. "We could exchange a few pointers. I'm very interested in those methods. Of the 3 great powers in Jianchen, I've subdued the city lord, and you've subdued the queen. Now, only the commander remains." Xing Meng shamelessly brought the wine over with a proposition. "Come and help me become the king of Jianchen. We can make you my right-hand man. Come, let's toast to that." Without a moment's hesitation, Chen Bai replied, "I refuse," leaving him completely shocked. The 2 wine glasses were dropped, shattering on the floor. Xing Meng resorted to threats. "Let me tell you, I haven't rank talent, the highest rank there is. Or perhaps you'd prefer the forfeit after all." Chen Bai spread his arms and walked towards him. "Before I came here, I observed the surroundings. You not only gather zombies, but you also create them from living people. For someone like you to have great power is only a detriment, not a benefit. It would be better for you to die sooner rather than later. Furthermore, you are not worthy of my assistance, because my talent is Seswing." Xing Meng laughed as he began to equip his weapons. "Aha, my talent is called Slaughter Advancement. It can transfer a portion of a target's attributes to myself, and it can continuously evolve. This kind of invincible high-level ability is only rank. Your SS rank must be close to godhood." Chen Bai deliberately spoke vaguely. "Something like that, but I can't tell you." In his mind, he was marveling, "I didn't expect a pure combat-type talent that can continuously evolve. And claws too, must be equipment." Xing Meng didn't bother arguing further, and charged forward to attack. "You arrogant fool, I hope after you die, you'll enhance my attributes. Don't disappoint me." Their attacks instantly collided in mid-air. Chen Bai used his own strike to block his opponents. Xing Meng no longer bothered to hide his power and used the skill Slaughter Berserk. "So you have a transformation-type talent. Quite interesting, but still not strong enough." Ignoring the provocation, he silently analyzed, "It's a skill. It seems he hasn't revealed his full abilities. I don't know what effect this skill has, I must be more careful." He leaped high into the air, aiming to attack Chen Bai from above. Die. He also quickly transformed his arm and lunged forward to attack. The 2 powerful attacks clashed, creating a massive impact at the Mengkai container yard, the scene of the fierce battle between Chen Bai and Xing Meng. Even though he was knocked back repeatedly, Xing Meng could instantly charge forward again to continue his assault. He was able to block Chen Bai's punch with just one hand. This made Xing Meng incredibly smug. "You still holding up, kid? You look like you're running out of steam." He taunted further, "Aren't you SS rank talent? Stop hiding your true power, and unleash it." Chen Bai smiled and replied, "My talent has been active for a while now. You just haven't noticed." Hearing this, Xing Meng increased his power. Still talking tough, but then Chen Bai was sent flying by a swing of his arm. Xing Meng grew even more smug. "Your strength, constitution, and agility are clearly inferior to mine, yet you still want to act all mysterious and put on a show. Let me tell you, in the face of absolute power, your petty tricks." But before he could finish his sentence, he spat out a mouthful of blood. "This is it." From the side, Chen Bai had to give a compliment. "Your constitution is really not bad. It took this long for the virus to take effect. How does it feel, being infected with so many diseases?" This caused Xing Meng to lose control, wanting only to charge and attack. Despicable villain. And then, he was impaled by Chen Bai's attack. He coldly watched as Xing Meng's corpse was absorbed by his tentacles and said, "Despicable. But I told you before, my ability isn't normal. A pity you didn't believe me." Watching Xing Meng being drained dry within his own cocoon, Chen Bai remarked with interest, "I hope absorbing you proves beneficial. Don't let me down." As Singmen's equipment clattered to the ground, a series of notifications flooded Chen Bai's mind. A human evolver had been absorbed. The Blacklight virus had completed its initial awakening, providing a large-scale increase to his attributes and becoming a base attribute of his Monarch virus body. Furthermore, the Devour ability had evolved. He could now choose to view the memories of his targets, with a low probability of acquiring any skills they possessed. Chen Bai muttered to himself, the attributes provided by the Blacklight virus have gone from being a temporary boost I had to actively absorb to a permanent, passive enhancement. This is a huge benefit. He decided to check just how much his attributes had increased. Before, the virus had provided a 30-point boost to his strength and agility, 20 to his spirit, and a 100 increase to his recovery. The new notifications were staggering. The Blacklight virus now granted 50 strength, 50 agility, 50 constitution, 40 spirit, and 200 health recovery. That's a massive change, he breezed. Every stat category had increased by at least 20 points, and it was all added to his base attributes. He pulled up his full status. Evolver number, 1 talent, Monarch Virus's talent tree, level 2 1952,000 exp strength, 65-3 agility, 71-3 constitution, 61-3 spirit, 48-2 bone uses from progenitor title or in Paranese's charm, 6 luck, 6 currency, 34 silver, 91 copper. He bent down to pick up the closing men had dropped, thinking, it seems I can no longer afford to mess around before the trial begins. A normal person's base attributes are below 5. My current self is still too weak. He then inspected the loot he had acquired, equipment, a blueprint, and consumables. This guy's luck wasn't half bad. He must have killed a mutated zombie to have better stats and equipment than even I did. He examined the items. The zombie claws were an ank weapon that increased agility by 10 and strength by 8, with a life-leeching effect and a skill called Phantom Claw that boosted attack speed. The second item was the ank crafting blueprint for a weapon called Biological Destruction, which required rare materials like a tyrant's bone and a lord's brain. This guy's looks that must have been pretty high tempo news. Well, it's all mine now. Later that night, as he walked through the warehouse district, he reflected on his journey. Since returning to the past, his talent had skyrocketed from rank to swing. The 3 strange incidents he investigated had yielded rich rewards. And now, he had even subjugated Song Zikang, the future lord of Jiangqing. At the end of the road, 2 figures were waiting for him. As he approached, a car door swung open. Zikang bowed. Respectfully. Master, please get in the car. Chen Bai was pleased. With my current strength, hunting down the scattered monsters that appear before the trial is a waste of effort, he thought as he settled into the car. In these last few days before the descent, I should focus on preparing for the growth that comes after. A few days later, in Song Zikang's villa, Chen Bai stared out at the sprawling city below. The trial is about to descend. A knock came at the door. Come in. The door opened, and Zikang entered with the others, all of them smiling. Master, thankfully, we were not shamed. We have completed the tasks you assigned us on time. Luli reported enthusiastically. The terrain, geography, and population numbers have been mapped out, with this mountain villa as the central point. The data has been confirmed. After the apocalypse begins, we can begin clearing operations immediately to achieve complete control of the area. Su Sen, still new to this kind of work, glanced at her notes. The procurement of materials is complete. The finalized inventory has been sent to you. Zikang looked at Chen Bai's back. The 3 of us have confirmed all the advanced preparations. The time is almost here. Do you have any further instructions, Master? He looked down at his phone. No, you've all done very well. Just leave the documents on the table. He then began typing a message to his Pioneer group chat. There are 10 minutes remaining until the trial. Don't get complacent just because you have a head start and a rare talent. Stay calm. The danger the trial will bring is beyond your imagination. I hope that in 10 minutes, no one from this group has disappeared. Replies immediately began to pour in. A hooded figure typed back, thank you for the reminder, group leader. A girl with stylish blue hair began a countdown, thank you, bye die. 9 minutes left. Another, a man in the middle of a workout, responded, 8 minutes. I can't wait any longer. A user, named Wu Ya replied from the street, 7 minutes. Easy there, Overlord. Meng Meng, sitting nervously in her room, typed, 6. Group leader, I'm so nervous. A flood of messages from other unique individuals followed. The hair of the 5 alliances lightning flash, 5 minutes left. Don't worry, little sister. Everyone is here. The dark fruit, 4 minutes. I am very much looking forward to it. Ding ding. Chen Bai on this side also began to call out, all of you, come over here and take a look. The final 10 seconds began to count down. Ain't. Everyone in the room followed him, looking towards the city in front of them. Very soon, this peaceful scene would become a thing of the past. The countdown was at 7 seconds, this world was about to welcome the apocalypse. 6 seconds left. Song Yi said tremblingly to Shuanger, only 5 seconds left. Sister Xuanger, I'm a little scared. Xuanger just said casually, don't be afraid. When there were 4 seconds left, Songdi and Su Xin both waited nervously. Luli seemed to have held her breath when she saw there were only 3 seconds left. With 2 seconds remaining, Shenbai opened his mouth to count. 1. A city suddenly became a desolate ruin on June 15th as the trial descended. The Blue Star Apocalypse experiment officially began. To survive, humans must become evolvers. Evolvers use their talents and abilities, and can also level up by gaining experience. Other races that have risen through the trial will also participate in this life and death battle. On everyone's trial ground, Blue Star, countless secret realms and world rifts are about to appear. Will this be a danger or an opportunity? It will be decided by your own strength. Use all your strength to grow and evolve. The time hourglass completed its master recognition and began to connect, which surprised Chen Bai a little. The time hourglass recognizes a master. The hourglass on his neck suddenly lit up. This is bad, they are still here. I can't let anyone know about the hourglass. Chen Bai quickly turned his head and ordered, all of you, get out. It was then that he was shocked to realize that Zishim's group had all turned into black and white figures. Chen Bai hurriedly looked in another direction and saw that everything except himself had frozen. An airplane was stopped in mid-air. Chen Bai was still confused by what was happening. Time has stopped. His hourglass began to float in the air. As he looked up, Chen Bai saw a space that looked like the stars. Suddenly, those countless stars turned into a torrent of power that flowed towards him. After the time hourglass completed its connection, Chen Bai received information from the system. Time hourglass soul bound, unlocked, return to the past active. You can return to any point in the past and erase everything obtained in the disappeared timeline. Remaining cooldown time. 72 years, 6 months, and 7 days. This skill cannot be reduced by any skill or equipment effects. Unlocked. He seemed to have confirmed his speculation even more. Returning to the past, it seems I was indeed reborn because of the hourglass. Suddenly Chen Bai noticed something else. The state preserves and reads. The system continued to display the preserve state, actively marking the current physical and mental state and the skill state with no cooldown time. Read state active. The saved read state does not affect the kept items and memories. Cooldown time 1 hour. Unlocked. Requires the use of a soul connection. He smiled, a life aving skill this strong, and it only has a 1 hour cooldown. Just then, Dijon woke up. I feel like you just called us, sir. Do you have any instructions? Or did I mishear? Chen Bai immediately turned off the system screen and said, you didn't mishear. Everyone, quickly go and confirm the safety of our villa. The night is extremely dangerous. Tell everyone to be on high alert immediately. At dawn, we will begin to clear the villa. Lu Li and she immediately took the order. Yes. The scene changed to the next day. Countless zombies had appeared and surrounded Song Zishim's villa. Zishim rushed up to attack. Amethyst ice. Converts objects into amethyst or turns into amethyst for attack and defense. The strength increases with mental power. She used the skill Crystal Scry. Crystal Scry, you can check the target's attributes and the effect changes depending on the difference in mental power. Through this power, she could assess the approaching zombie, common zombie, energy 5, agility 3, physique 4, spirit 0. An adult male zombie infected by a bite will be infected with the zombie virus. The weak point is the head. Just a wave of her hand was enough for Zishim to destroy the zombie in front of her. The zombies had no idea they were facing another kind of danger. Xuanger also began to use her skill, Way of the Assassin. Breath is hidden and hard to detect. Sensitivity is increased, flexibility in the dark is 30, and the attack speed of the first strike on the target is 100. She quickly gained momentum and rushed to attack. In just a moment, Xuanger had finished destroying an entire army of zombies. At this moment, in the main hall of Song Zishim's villa, a bodyguard held an injured person and rushed in to report. An injured survivor, Su Xin, who was treating another person, also looked up and instructed, inject him with the zombie virus serum. I will treat him right away. She had the power of super fast recovery by. The recovery speed of her own wounds and stamina is greatly increased, and you can actively use it on others. As night fell, everyone began to rest. Chen Bai walked over to Lu Li to assess the situation. I think the current situation is not too bad. She also smiled and replied, yes, thanks to your prior arrangements. We have every advantage, heaven, earth, and the people are all on our side. Down at the base, everyone is busy with their preparations. For now, there haven't been any unexpected incidents. Chen Bai nodded, satisfied. Good. I'll leave this place to you all. I still have something I need to do. Ah, yes of course, Lu Li replied, a bit flustered by his sudden departure. With that, he took off in a blur. A figure shot through the Dongshan mountain road. As Chen Bai ran, his mind raced. The initial stage of the apocalyptic trial is tricky. Things like vehicles and firearms are unusable. But at my current speed, I should be able to make it in time. On the first day the apocalypse descended, before I was reborn, I saw that thing. A symbol appeared over Junshin University. It was a long time before I learned what that symbol meant, and I later regretted not getting there in time. His resolve hardened. This time, I will definitely seize that opportunity. After a long run, he finally reached his destination, Junshin University. After dispatching all the zombies blocking his path, he smiled. I'm here. This is the place. This was the symbol every evolver dreamed of seeing, indicating that an avatar of a god had descended. It's close. Right ahead. Just then, a voice called out. Evolver, please wait a moment. A man with a pleasant smile appeared before him. It's not often one sees a kid as strong as you in the early stages of the trial. I am a merchant. Are you interested in a trade? Shenbai didn't hesitate for a second. Of course. To be able to trade with someone like you, I would be greatly honored. The merchant waved his hands dismissively. It's just a trade with a merchant. What's so honorable about it? Shenbai stepped closer, his voice full of calculated flattery. I have heard of your divine name, and I have admired you through the symbol. I have waited day and night for the chance to meet you. Kind, fair, generous, wealthy, and powerful. Then, Bai bowed deeply, then spoke the name with reverence. The god of transaction. Lord Lidu. The god of transactions, Lidu, smiled brightly. You flatter me, you flatter me. I feel a certain affinity with you, little guy. Here, a welcoming gift. He produced a green card. This is a gold membership card for the elf store. It will give you a 12% discount on any items you purchase there. In my past life, by the time I met him, he was already immune to flattery, Shenbai thought. Getting here a step ahead of everyone else really has its benefits. He accepted the card with another flourish. Thank you so much. You are as generous and kind as the legends say. Lidu was clearly eager to get down to business. Alright, since you're willing to trade, let me show you my wares. In an instant, images of incredible items and their descriptions appeared before Shenbai's eyes. There was a level 5 class scroll for a lightning elementalist, granting the power to wield thunderstorms and smite enemies. There was also a level 5 legendary sniper rifle called Death's Gaze, a masterpiece crafted by the dwarven god himself. Shenbai was stunned. So the lightning elementalist scroll from my past life was bought from here. And he has so many other precious professional items. He could only look at Lidu with regret. I'm sorry, Your Excellency Lidu. I want all of these things, but right now, I can't afford any of them. Lidu casually dismissed the items. I know, of course. The trial has only just begun. I'm sure evolvers don't have much money on hand. But my goods are not without their price. You must work for what you want. I look forward to doing business with you in the future. But Shenbai wasn't going to let this chance slip away. Your Excellency Lidu, he began, although I cannot afford your products, I've heard that gods cannot directly participate in the trial. You need to invest in evolvers to profit from it. Surely you are also here for the purpose of investment. Lidu's interest was piqued. You know quite a bit, little guy. You want my investment. I've heard, Shenbai said boldly, that you possess a treasure coveted by all the gods, an item that no evolver could possibly refuse. Invest it in me. You won't regret it. Lidu conjured a chair and sat down. An investment must yield a profit, and that is a tool that every god covets. What makes you think you can bring me a return that far exceeds its value? Even if you were my worshipper, I would not conduct business at a loss. Without a word, Shenbai transformed his arms, one into a mass of hardened biomass, the other into razor-sharp claws. He openly displayed the power and data flowing from his SSS talent. Behold. This is my proof. Lidu's eyes widened with fascination. And SSS talent. It's different from any talent I've seen before. As expected, the Blue Star trial grounds are truly interesting. How captivating. I hadn't planned on investing that particular treasure so early. He stood up, his gaze fixed on Shenbai. So be it. Little guy, I've decided to give you a chance. You must seize it. If I didn't see that your talent was remarkable, and that you didn't bear the aura of any other god, I would not have agreed to this. He became overjoyed, mistakenly thinking he could secure the investment of that treasure. But Lidu wagged his finger in denial. No, it's still not enough. Talent does not represent the future. Among the gods, there are also those with talents below a rank. To receive my highest level investment, you must still use your own strength and growth to prove your worth. At that moment, Shenbai's system suddenly popped up with a notification. The god of elves and commerce, Lidu, has issued you a 5-star mission. The final investment, first round. Accept. Without hesitation, he replied, accept. Lidu took out another coin, saying, when you complete the mission, you can summon my projection through this gold coin. He instantly flicked the coin forward. I hope you won't keep me waiting too long. Shenbai quickly caught the gold coin and asked, Lord Leto, perhaps you could let me see the treasure that all the gods are coveting. Leto agreed readily, of course. The item suddenly appeared, a dual profession specialization scroll. A special item that allows the user to have two specialized professions simultaneously. The attribute growth, attribute bonuses, and skills of both professions are effective at the same time. Shenbai's eyes lit up. Dual profession. Leto quickly retracted his item. Alright, little one, our transaction is over. I should be going now. Before disappearing, he didn't forget a final word. Today's unexpected gain has been quite pleasant. I hope you will pass the test. As soon as he left, Shenbai quickly opened his mission panel. The system displayed, the final investment. Mission introduction, to receive the most valuable investment from the smartest, most clear-headed god of elves and commerce, you must naturally provide satisfactory proof. Talent is only the opening move, ability is the capital that earns investment. The system panel continued to display the mission objective, find the special secret dungeon within Jianshan University, defeat one of the creatures Leto is interested in, collect a part of its body, and deliver it to Leto. Mission reward, the content and the right to interpret the reward belong to the god of elves and commerce, Leto. What he was interested in was the final reward. The right of interpretation belongs to Leto. As expected of the god of commerce. Shenbai mused to himself, his reputation from my past life was not wrong at all. If I complete the mission beautifully, he surely won't treat me unfairly. Standing in the middle of the vast city, he also noted another piece of information. But a dungeon in Jianshan University at the beginning of the apocalypse. It must be a very hidden dungeon. You've never heard of it. Shenbai pondered for a moment, then began to turn and walk. Where should he start looking? At that moment, at Jianshan University, the exit of the gymnasium was blocked by a pile of furniture. Inside, a group of people were brawling. Many male students had been beaten unconscious, but a man named Tim didn't stop, instead giving a direct order. Now, all of you, take off your clothes and strike a pose that pleases me to beg to become my slaves. Otherwise, I'll kill you all, understand? You lowly monkeys. Some other male students still wanted to resist. In your dreams, you white pig. But this only further stimulated Tim's brutality. If you all want to die, then I'll grant your wish. Don't worry, I won't let you die comfortably. A blonde girl tried to stop his actions. Tim, you're going a bit too far. But she was slapped away by Tim. Damn it, you. Just then the door leading to the exit was destroyed. The event was so sudden that no one in the room had time to react. They all stared blankly at the newcomer. Shenbai silently observed the state of the group inside, then he suddenly spoke. Foreigner, you're the one who beat these students, aren't you? Tim admitted with amusement. That's right, so what? You got it. Problem with it. But before he could react, Shenbai had already lunged to attack. You are. Without a second thought, he brought down a strike. Then go die. Another one who wanted to sneak attack Shenbai was also gently sent to the afterlife by him. The blonde girl's eyes widened in shock at what she had just witnessed. Shenbai grabbed the head of a young man with shaggy hair with one hand, and with the other, he turned and asked with a smile, fellow students, are any of you in the medical field? I'm looking for something and need a student familiar with medicine to help. Inside the Jianshan University gymnasium, someone repeated the question, is anyone studying medicine? Someone said, not. He studies civil engineering. Another said, I study foreign languages. At this time, someone pointed towards the blonde girl. I remember she studies medicine. As soon as she saw Shenbai turn to look at her, she began to stammer and begged down. Don't kill me. I didn't hit anyone. I like people from Dragon Country. I'm a white person with a yellow heart. Yes, my heart is very yellow. That statement made the others present burst into laughter, but the blonde girl could only beg in embarrassment, please spare me, I'm willing to do anything. At this moment, a black-haired girl stepped forward to speak for her. She really didn't hit anyone, and even advised those two to stop. Shenbai could only reply, I know. A while later, outside the gymnasium, he pointed at the blonde girl and told the others, she stays. The rest of you can leave now. After leaving, he walked along the path of corpses towards the Jianshan Villa. Go to the Dongshan Villa district, Shenbai instructed the group of survivors. Tell them Shenbai sent you, and the people there will help you. A male student looked worried. Go now. The campus is full of zombies. Isn't the Dongshan Villa district really far? Another girl asked hesitantly. Shenbai explained. I've already cleared out most of the zombies on the way there. You won't face any major dangers. You've all survived this long, which means you have awakened talents. If you're too timid to face zombies now, you'll be cornered when they and the other monsters begin to evolve on a massive scale. His words silenced the students. Finally, a black-haired girl spoke up, breaking the tense atmosphere. I understand. Thanks you. We'll leave right away. After the group had left, the blonde girl he had kept behind asked, I didn't dare go with them. Why did you keep me here? Her eyes widened in sudden realization. Could it be? Before Chenbai could speak, she pointed at him. I know, students in your country all like foreign women. You're the same, so you want to keep me for yourself. You don't need to use violence. I'm willing to be your horse to ride. A sarcastic smile touched Chenbai's lips. You've misunderstood. I have no interest in a horse that's been ridden by 10,000 men. Didn't you hear what he said before? I need someone to take me to the medical institute to find something. The girl could only bow her head in embarrassment. Sorry, I'm sorry. I was too scared to hear anything. Then, a flash of anger crossed her face. But Chen, you can't insult me, she explained, flustered. I'm not ridden by thousands, I've never been ridden by anyone. I can prove it. Chenbai didn't refuse. Alright then. A while later, they were crossing the university's gymnasium. The blonde girl was panting, struggling to keep up. Ah, Chen, I'm so tired. My feet hurt. Can we rest for a moment? No, he refused coldly, placing a hand on her waist. To urge her forward. We need to go. The sudden acceleration caused the jacket tied around her waist to fall off. My jacket. They soon arrived at the medical institute's research building. As she retied the jacket around her waist, she complained, Oh Chen, you're so impatient. If I hadn't managed to hook the jacket with my foot. This is the research building. Chenbai interrupted. Yes, she explained quickly. The research labs on the 3rd floor can only be entered by professors. They say there are many specimens and materials related to bacteria and viruses in there. She clung to his arm, looking around nervously. And the basement doesn't lead to a garage. It's where the professor's mortuary and incinerator are. If there's anything hidden in the medical institute that normal people don't know about, this is the only place I can think of. Got it, Chenbai said. Stay close. Inside the research area were countless test tubes filled with strange liquids and cultivation machines. They had found the university's virus research laboratory. I never thought the medical institute had a treasure trove like this, Chenbai remarked. He began absorbing the various liquids from the test tubes, feeling the influx of new viral information. He acquired a temperature-sensitive mutant influenza D virus, an influenza B virus, an influenza virus, and even an equine influenza virus. Mostly flu viruses, he chuckled to himself. Makes sense, I suppose. It is a university, after all. He had gathered enough to upgrade his influenza skill. He initiated the process, and a new power awakened within him. He could now release a cloud of influenza virus to infect targets, causing fatigue and other debilitating effects. Most importantly, it could induce a powerful sneeze capable of interrupting any action. Damn, this is strong, he marveled. A powerful interruption and control skill. This sneeze is incredible. He made a mental note to pay more attention to real-world viruses for future upgrades. SSS rank talent is truly terrifying. Remembering his deal with Lidu, he thought, I still have some viruses left. The Goblin God's trial won't be simple. I should use them to improve my strength first. He focused his will, delving into the blacklight virus skill tree. As he walked towards a wall, new passive abilities unlocked within him. He could now adhere to any surface, his sense of balance and direction enhanced. He also gained combat focus, a state of heightened concentration that sharpened his motion vision, reflexes, and control over every muscle in his body. He suddenly threw a punch forward. Chenbai slowly approached the wall, thinking to himself, all muscles. In the blink of an eye, the wall in front of him cracked and shattered. The blonde girl covered her mouth, recalling her earlier encounter and thinking, he can do that. Luckily, he didn't use that on me earlier, or I would be dead. Meanwhile, Chenbai was marveling to himself. So that's how it works. If I can utilize every single muscle, I can apply full force to anything, no matter the size. Even a single strand of hair could deliver a full-powered punch. As soon as he turned back, he had a question. Why is your face so red? The blonde girl immediately became embarrassed and quickly turned away. No, it's nothing. Chenbai didn't pay it much mind and said, the thing I need isn't here. Let's go check the main teacher's office. A while later, they arrived at the 1st floor of the Virus Research Institute, in the teacher's shared archive room. The blonde girl looked around. Nervously. Chen. There's no electricity here, it's so dark. Chenbai, who was in front, suddenly stopped and ordered, don't move. I can feel it. The room in front of them was the garbage incineration room. This is the place. The door was immediately open. Before stepping inside, Chenbai suggested, you stay here. This made the blonde girl even more frantic. Chen, I'm scared. But he paid her no mind and simply stepped into the room. Just then, the system prompt appeared. Are you sure you want to enter the cooled incinerator dungeon? Recommended level, 510. Chenbai lightly touched the boundary of the instance. Ease. He then proceeded deeper inside as he received a notification. You have entered the special instance, cooled incinerator. Successfully clearing it will make it a permanent dungeon. If the level is not cleared within 2 days, this copy will be permanently deleted. Shinbai found it a bit strange. Weird, I've never heard of this place. At that moment, there was a strange movement from the nearby beds. He immediately raised his guard. Here they come. A group of mutated zombies suddenly shot up from the beds. Shinbai and the zombies quickly lunged at each other. With a single swipe of his claws, he easily eliminated one zombie. Killed level 5 revived teacher corpse. Experience gained, 400. As Shinbai looked up, he saw another one about to strike. He swiftly dodged the zombie's whirlwind-like attack. But from this, Shinbai understood. No wonder they didn't all attack at once. So they have this kind of ability. However, he immediately gathered his strength and leaped high into the air. The warm-up has gone on long enough. In a flash, Shinbai successfully closed in on the zombie above. Go to hell. With that, he unleashed a heavy blow, piercing through its body. At this point, Shinbai received another notification from the system. Killed level 7 spliced spiderling. Experience gained, 1000. This made him exclaim, as expected. Of a special dungeon, the experience is so high. Looking at the horde of zombies stirring in front of him, Shinbai urged them on in his mind, come on, then. He shouted with excitement, the more, the better. Shinbai charged a path through them, slaughtering as he went, reaping a stream of notifications. Experience gained, 400, experience gained, 1000. In just a moment, he had successfully eliminated the obstructing zombies. System prompt, leveled up, current level, 4. You have received 2 free attribute points. Shinbai walked step by step towards the incinerator. Your little minions are all dead. Why haven't you shown yourself yet? Or should I help you out? As soon as he finished speaking, the incinerator door was destroyed. He glanced over coldly. In front of him was a fat, round zombie struggling to get out of the incinerator. This sight made him a bit concerned. How can this be? This pile of meat is giving me a sense of danger. Before it could fully emerge, Shinbai decided he had to kill it before it transformed. He immediately rushed forward to attack, only to be surprised when it blocked his move. Shinbai could only resort to a skill, evolved flu virus illusion. The zombie just needed to roar once to break the skill. Skill is ineffective against the target. Next, it swung its arm and delivered a powerful punch, sending Shinbai flying. He lay sprawled on the ground, clicking his tongue with amusement. As soon as he finished off the zombie, the system immediately displayed a notification. Killed level 8 bio demon boss. Experience gained, 10,000. Leveled up, current level 5. You have received 2 free attribute points. Dungeon successfully cleared. You can now log out of the dungeon at will. The cooled incinerator dungeon has been converted into a permanent dungeon. Cooldown before re-entry, 3 days. Do you want to upload the clear process as a paid public video? All proceeds will go to the uploader. You can choose to hide your face and ID name. You can set the viewing price. Without hesitation, Shinbai chose to upload, opting to hide his face. At that moment, at the Damshan Villa area, in Song Zisham's villa, she was having her body restored by Su Xin. Just then, the two of them suddenly received news. White in the chat group announced, Evolver White has uploaded a video of clearing the nightmare, level secret realm dungeon cooled incinerator level 510. Viewing price, 1 copper coin. Both Su Xin and Zisham decided in unison, let's watch it. The others in the group also quickly received the video. Shuangher was stunned. So fast. I have to watch it in slow motion to see clearly. Someone in the group exclaimed excitedly, White is so amazing, he hits so hard. Another person quickly realized, wait, that's not right. This monster's regeneration is even stronger than Baidi's. Isn't his reckless fighting style a bit unsuitable? One of the watchers wondered aloud. Meng Meng just smiled. Look, Baidi has already fully recovered. The group chat exploded with activity. My knees and my peach blossoms will forever bloom for you, Lord Bei, the heir of the 5 alliances. Lightning Flash declared dramatically. Yezay, are you trying to make us sick? Another member retorted. Boss Bai, when you come to Rongchen, I'll have the bedsheets cleaned and ready to welcome you. That instantaneous recovery. It's like he has an unlimited supply, the Overlord commented in awe. I can barely handle 10 zombies at once. And that's my limit, another user named Black Fruit lamented. Is the difference between Smank and Smank talent really this huge? A level 15 nightmare difficulty boss is this strong? It doesn't seem logical. Someone else chimed in. How are we, at level 10, supposed to reach that level? Is it possible the instance has another solution? It seems Baidi just smashes through all possible solutions with pure force, another user concluded. I think you're right. Baidi is just too strong. He doesn't need to look for clever tricks. Inside the cooled incinerator, Shinbai was still absorbing the remains of his foe. A notification flashed in his mind. He had devoured the special composite variant, gaining 300 evolution points exclusive to the Blacklight virus. These points can only be used to evolve Blacklight abilities, unlike the general talent points, he noted, but it's not bad. 2 more notifications suddenly appeared. The Blacklight virus had undergone an extraordinary evolution in life recovery, increasing its speed by an additional 300. It had also activated a new passive ability, acquiring the rank skill cellular regeneration from the Bio-Demon. This passive skill allowed him to rapidly regenerate lost limbs by consuming stamina or energy, and it could be toggled on or off. Excellent, he exclaimed inwardly. A low probability passive skill, and in a rank 1 at that, but what interested him more was the loot that had appeared. Now, let's see what a nightmare level boss drops. At his feet, several items glowed faintly. He picked up a scroll. It was a unique, of a class scroll Bio-Demon. It described an evil specialization that involved absorbing other life forms to enhance oneself, but warned that excessive absorption could lead to genetic breakdown and unknown mutations. An interesting, rank unique class, with both risk and reward, he mused, but I already have the Blacklight virus. He moved on to the next item, the Ingenescence. It was a vial containing a perfect genetic fluid that could permanently increase one's constitution. Without hesitation, he uncorked the vial and drank the entire contents. His strength permanently increased by 2, his agility by 3, and his constitution by a full 6 points. He then picked up the final item, a strange, skin-like material that puzzled him. It was a D-rank piece of special protective equipment called the Skin of the Faceless. According to its description, it was a special dermal product with excellent defensive properties that offered 10 to agility, constitution, and defense. A peculiar note mentioned that it improved the wearer's figure over time, with an especially beautiful effect on women. Its dynamic trait allowed the wearer to freely change the color and shape of their body parts according to their thoughts. Chen Bai fell silent for a moment. The description of that dynamic trait is a bit ambiguous. Does it change my body, or the equipment itself? He decided to table the thought. I should get going. I just need to deliver this boss's body to Lidu, and the mission will be complete. He'll never expect me to finish this quickly. Then, a thought struck him. The elf and the god of transactions. He quickly opened his inventory. That's right, picked up some other items from the smaller monsters. They were mostly common leather gear, but there was also a decent skill book. It was a D-rank active skill called Cellular Activation, which provided a short-term boost to cellular activity and recovery. A note specified it would be ineffective if one already possessed a higher-tier version like his new cellular regeneration. Useless to me, then, he decided. But I can trade this life-saving skill book in the chat group for something else. Just then, a prompt appeared in his vision, asking if he wanted to log out of the instance. He was about to select yes when he stopped. Wait. Something's not right. Chen Bai knew Lidu wasn't just some aimless wandering merchant from a game. His presence here had to have a specific reason. He recalled their earlier meeting, when Lidu had called him an unexpected harvest. The god had been pleased, saying, "Today's unexpected harvest is truly delightful. I hope you can complete the examination." The examination. Chen Bai's eyes narrowed. He was missing something. He couldn't leave just yet. A suspicion suddenly arose in Chen Bai. So, his original purpose was very likely this special dungeon. He began to observe the incinerator more closely. But the value of the items I obtained here shouldn't have been enough to warrant a visit from the projection of a god. Could his purpose be unrelated to this dungeon? Or did I miss something? His suspicion of the incinerator grew, leading to his decision to climb inside and take a look. If there's still a place in this dungeon that I haven't seen, it can only be inside this incinerator. As soon as he climbed inside, he quickly observed his surroundings. Iron grates for burning bodies and oven door, the walls are all covered in crazy smoke. Nothing special. Then Chen Bai noticed another spot. It couldn't be inside this pipe, could it? Looks like I have to go up there and check. If I don't investigate thoroughly, I might overlook something. With that, he gathered his strength and leaped upwards. The journey inside made Chen Bai marvel. This pipe is really long, it extends far beyond the height of the room. But then he was surprised to discover that the path ahead was completely sealed. A dead end. Just as Chen Bai was wondering in confusion, could it be that there's really nothing here? A golden mask suddenly burst through the wall in front of him. Chen Bai reflexively threw a powerful punch at it. And then, he received a rather surprising reward. Then, the system displayed the information. Mask, the main cause of the incinerator anomaly. Specifics of the item are unknown. Its appearance is merely a simulation of a face. It seems to contain some magical function and effect. Chen Bai quickly reached through the system interface to grab the golden mask in front of him. Could it be a prop? The will of all things can't explain it. It still has a question mark. It might be a remnant of incest, bank item or a prop related to a god. But that wasn't enough to curb his fascination with the golden mask in his hand. What a great item. It seems Leto's original purpose was this thing. I have to find a way to keep it. An unknown amount of time passed, and the sky outside had gradually turned to night. At Jianshan University, in the underground incinerator, the blonde girl had finally waited for Chen Bai to emerge. Bai, she ran over excitedly to greet him. You're so strong, Bai, I saw your video. I love you, Bai. He wasn't interested in that, and just wanted to know, do you have any copper coins? The blonde girl happily boasted, the zombies people fought. I farmed some of those too. Chen Bai wondered grimly, I wonder how many coins I have now. Setting the price at 1 coin, a lot of people must have watched it. He began to receive a series of notifications from the system, 859 gold, 93 silver, 15 copper, 894 gold, 12 silver, 45 copper, 912 gold, 75 silver, 32 copper. Chen Bai was a little regretful. Still not enough. I need 1,000 gold coins to unlock the warehouse. The warehouse was protected by the will of all things, completely shielded from any form of detection. This was the safest way to keep the prop without it being discovered. Looks like I'll have to wait a little longer before turning in the mission. A while later, at Jianshan University, in the annex behind the main medical school building, the blonde girl asked curiously, Bai, are we going to the Wild Mountain East Villa area you mentioned? Chen Bai denied it. No, the night holds many unexpected dangers. We'll find a place to spend the night first. Hearing this, she enthusiastically suggested, there are some high-end hotels not far from the school. The facilities are fully equipped, and since it's not a holiday, there won't be many people. Plus, they're all high-rise buildings, so they should be quite safe. He didn't object further. Alright, lead the way. The scene changed to a love hotel near Jianshan University, the Happy Couple Love Hotel. In a room named Various Temptations, Chen Bai shared frankly, I don't like this style. The blonde girl, dressed in a sexy nurse outfit, said in confusion, sorry, I thought you chose this hotel because you wanted to see this. He sat down in a nearby chair and said, I do want to see this. But I don't like you wearing it like that. The girl could only choose to complain. Then I'll go change into something else. She changed into a seductive policewoman outfit. Chen Bai criticized it again, you don't have the right aura for it. Change. She changed into a beautiful female teacher outfit. He criticized it again, not smart enough. Change. To a high school girl uniform. Chen Bai was still not satisfied. Bland. You're already a student. Aren't there any more interesting costumes here? Finally, the blonde girl was left with a revealing beast person outfit. This. How about this one? This time, he didn't continue to make things difficult for her. It'll do. Tonight, you'll be a good little beast girl. Come here. An unknown amount of time passed. Still at the Love Hotel near Jianshan University, while the blonde girl was sound asleep, Chen Bai sat up and said, activate the warehouse function. The system immediately displayed, warehouse activated. Cost, 1,000 gold coins. And hair can be designated. Cannot be detected by any function or skill. It is absolutely private and hidden. It is a personal space protected by the will of all things. Please use it reasonably. A reminder popped up, mask has been placed in the warehouse. Outside the Love Hotel near Jianshan University, a saying circulates in the world, when dealing with Ledo, emotions are a bargaining chip. It meant that Lidu adjusted his rewards based on his mood or his perception of the trading partner. And in Lidu's eyes, he was currently very valuable. Chen Bai took out the item for the trade. The moment the boundary disappeared, Lidu's avatar immediately appeared to greet him. Little guy, I didn't expect you to summon me so soon. Have you completed the mission and proven your ability? Chen Bai tossed the mission item onto the ground. That's right. This is the proof. As the mission require, a part of the creature's body from the instance. Lidu silently stared at the shriveled, dried-out organ rolling in the dust. Oh, he observed coldly. It seems this thing has been dead for some time. A staff materialized in his hand. You completed the mission last night, didn't you? Why didn't you summon me then? His voice was sharp with suspicion. You truly want that scroll, don't you? Chen Bai immediately countered with his prepared words. Because I don't understand. I hold you in such high esteem, so why would you hide the instance's true difficulty from me? Only after I entered did I realize it was a nightmare. Level instance. If I didn't have a few tricks up my sleeve, I'm afraid I would have died in there. The accusation took the god aback. Ah, so that's it, he said, momentarily flustered. My boy, I understand your dissatisfaction, but I have an explanation. In truth, that was part of the examination. With a treasure like that, I cannot simply hand it over to someone who can't handle the unexpected. Do you understand? Chen Bai let out a sigh, feigning acceptance. Alright, I understand. So, what are the rewards and the next mission? Lidu seized the opportunity to smooth things over. Alright, it was my fault for hiding the information. Furthermore, you have proven your strength. As such, you may choose your reward for this mission, and the next task will be the final ring of the quest. How does that sound? Chen Bai bowed. I am grateful for your Explanation and your generosity, Your Excellency Lidu. Satisfied, Lidu snapped his fingers. Now then, you may choose any item of BU and quality or lower. In an instant, countless items materialized before him. It didn't take Chen Bai long to make his choice. He pointed at a particular scroll. I'll take that one. Lidu glanced at his selection. Oh, the design blueprint for a town portal scroll. He remarked, a hint of admiration in his voice. You have a sharp eye, and your goals are very clear. Very well. Next is the final stage of the mission. The details of the next task appeared before Chen Bai, and the information was so shocking it made his jaw drop. It was an SSS quest from the god Lidu. The final stage of the ultimate investment. The reward was 2 SSS profession scrolls. 2 SSS scrolls. He stammered in disbelief. Your Excellency Lidu, this is incredibly difficult. Surely you know that not even the gods are born with SSS professions. Lidu let out a casual laugh. Of course I know. My own starting profession was only a rank. But this is my finest treasure, so naturally, it will yield the finest results. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for me to part with it. Chen Bai didn't hesitate any longer. All right, he said, accepting the monumental task. It seems I have no choice but to accept. Meanwhile, at the Dongshan Villa district, a giant rat was devouring a human corpse. Changer, hidden among the nearby rubble, assessed the creature. It was a level 5 mutated rat, its strength, agility, and constitution far exceeding their own. The level gap was too large to see its other abilities. More and more of them are appearing now, and they're stronger than before, she observed grimly. Even with both of our teams, we'd be completely wiped out if we faced it. Zikan was equally worried. Level 5. Its stats are 3 or 4 times higher than ours. We can't handle it. What do we do? She glanced at her injured ability. Users. We can't fight this thing. We need to fall back, but someone has to stay behind and keep watch. Suddenly, Changer sensed danger. She quickly grabbed Zikan and lunged out of the way just as the rat attacked, its charge missing them and causing it to tumble to the ground. Zikan, you have to get out of here now, Changer urged, helping her up. Zikan materialized an energy weapon in her hand. It's too late. It's too fast. As if to prove her point, the giant rat scrambled to its feet and lunged at them again. In that desperate moment, a glowing boundary circle appeared in the sky. Chen Bai dropped from the circle, landing with immense force directly on the giant rat's body, crushing it. Zikan cried out in relief. Standing on the creature's corpse, Chen Bai looked over at them. Looks like I didn't arrive too late, did I? He immediately took command. Changer, get some people to clean this up. Compensate the families of those who were lost. Zikan. You're coming with me. Explain what happened. A short while later, back in the villa, Chen Bai reviewed a report. After clearing the zombies, multiple mutated rats, each over a meter long, suddenly appeared during a routine patrol. The initial discovery was in the eastern part of the villa complex. Lu Li, holding a stack of papers, spoke up. I'm truly sorry. Master. Those beasts appeared suddenly and destroyed 6 warehouses. The total number of casualties has already exceeded 100 people. The specific details are here. He took the paper from her hand and comforted her. It's not really anyone's fault. It seems none of you have gotten any rest. You should all go and rest first. I will go and clean up the remaining mutant rats in the villa area, and I'll investigate their origin while I'm at it. Just then, Zihim spoke up again. Thank you for your concern. But it would be terrible if we all went to rest, and there was no one around to take care of you, so I'd like to recommend someone to you. Chen Bai didn't object to this proposal. That's fine. Hearing this, she turned towards the door and called out, Come in, Lindenkok. The door slowly opened. Ziashun gave a brief introduction of the person who had just entered. This girl is Kin Lindenkok. We rescued her while clearing the villa area. You two probably already know each other. Right? She studied law and used to be a lawyer. She can help you establish rules and regulations, and she is also willing to become your person. After hearing this, Shen Bai requested, Kin Lindenkok stays. The rest of you, go and rest. After the others had left, Lindenkok said shyly, whatever you need me to do, just give the order. He gently lifted her chin with his hand and asked, I've heard that the women in your profession have very sharp tongues. Come here, let me experience it a little, shall I? Lindenkok obediently replied, yes. Kneeling on the floor, Lindenkok said shyly, Thank you for your reward, master. Shen Bai leaned back comfortably and remarked, Your technique isn't bad. I'm very satisfied. He then walked towards the floor to ceiling window and called, Come here. She obediently walked over. Yes. Shen Bai had just said, Listen carefully to what I'm about to say about the rules here, when Lindenkok bent over, presenting her rear to him invitingly. Master, please. This made Chen Bai feel very surprised. Please what? Why are you in that position? Didn't you hear what I just said? She explained charmingly, I'm sorry, sir, I didn't hear you clearly. It's probably because of my and concentration ability. This ability allows me to improve my thinking. When I focus on thinking, feeling, or working, my speed and sensitivity are heightened, but it blocks out all other external information. He gazed out at the city in the distance and said, I called you over here so you could see the 3 areas of Damshan, the villa area, the high and residential area on the mountainside, and the residential community at the foot of the mountain. I want you to create different regulations based on these different areas. Lin Gok replied seriously, yes, I can do that. Do you have any other requests? Shen Bai tilted his head, assessing her. Requests? I'm very curious about your ability. Come, let me see what level of sensitivity you can reach when you're concentrating. Lin Gok's face instantly turned red as she understood the hidden meaning in his words. Yes, sir. She quickly entered a state of concentration and invited Chen Bai. I am ready. Her charming moans echoed throughout the night. Until noon the next day, at the Damshan sewer, Linjin drainage outlet, Chen Bai led a team to this location and explained, last night, by checking the blueprints and the tracks of the mutant rats, I found this place. Inside is the nest of those mutant rats. Although I could clear this place out by myself, I want to use this opportunity to train some trusted subordinates who I can rely on. People who can protect everyone when I'm not here. Therefore, I selected a few of you and brought you here to level up and become the core middle-class pillar in the villa area. Are you all prepared? Everyone simultaneously knelt and declared, we are prepared, master. Chen Bai tried to hide his feelings by fiddling with a lock of hair and requested, get up. It's a bit strange for men to call me master. From now on, call me the White Emperor. All the men cheered happily, yes, White Emperor. Their feet began to wade through the sewer water, and in a moment, he arrived in front of the iron cage leading into the drain. With a simple wave of his hand, Chen Bai was able to snap the iron bars. Let's begin. At that moment, a system notification popped up, special mission triggered, the dwellers of the sewer. As soon as Chen Bai saw the mission appear, he asked curiously, hey, a mission. Did you guys get one too? Zisheng replied honestly from behind, yes, we got a notification too. Shuanga read the mission aloud. It requires us to kill all the mutant rats and the Rat King, and to investigate the origin of these mutant rats. The reward will be determined after completion. Another person immediately reported, White Emperor, we received a similar mission. Zisheng kept looking around. It's so dark in here. Luckily, I had someone bring torches for light. Chen Bai also remarked, this place seems cleaner than I expected. Just then, he heard strange noises rushing towards them. Everyone, be careful, here they come. A giant swarm of mutant rats charged at them. Chen Bai immediately entered a combat, ready state. There's quite a few of them. The people behind him also charged forward to attack. A chaotic battle between Chen Bai's team and the rat swarm quickly ensued. Everyone, attack. If they're not dead, hit them a few more times. A while later, the rat swarm had been completely wiped out. A team member reported, I found a piece of equipment here, cracked rat skin. Disham observed for a moment before reporting. This section of the pipe was cleared very quickly. We've cleared 16 sections of the pipe. We should be close to the source now. Chen Bai gave a grunt of acknowledgement. Just then, someone pointed ahead in a panic. Here comes another one. It looks like there's only one this time. Buoyed by her recent success in battle, Zikang volunteered. Just one. Let me give it a try. Don't forget to use your insight skill first, Chen Bai reminded her. Of course, she replied confidently as she advanced on the rat. She activated her crystal insight skill, and her eyes widened in shock. This isn't right. It's a boss, a level 7 boss, she yelled, reading its stats aloud. I can't see its specific attributes, but its strength is close to 30, its speed is over 40, and its constitution. Before she could finish, Chen Bai shot past her and attacked. Be careful, she thought, only to watch in stunned silence as he killed the Rat King in a single blow. After the fight, a reward card appeared, Plague Boots, an A-rank piece of defensive gear that gave 5 agility and poison resistance. It was part of a 5-piece plague set, which granted an additional 1 to all stats when completed. The description read, worn by the heralds of plague as they spread their faith and death. Pestilence follows wherever they tread. Equipment sets. Chen Bai thought, a little dumbfounded. This Rat King actually drops set pieces. He mentally equipped the boots, and his old footwear was instantly replaced. The quality is a bit low, but if I can collect the whole set, the effect will be multiplied. The Plague Rat King is dead. All that's left is to investigate the source. The group ventured deeper into the pipes. We've passed 5 more sections, and we haven't even seen an old rat, Zikang said, growing discouraged. Suddenly, Chen Bai held out an arm to stop her. Wait. Following the alerts from his internal system, he walked ahead alone, absorbing a cloud of unseen contagions. He acquired Spore Plague, Bone Thorn Plague, Rotting Plague, and even a mutated dark green variant of the Spore Plague. each one granting him virus points. It's normal for sewers to have viruses and bacteria, he thought, feeling the changes within his body. But the viruses I'm absorbing now are things that didn't exist on Earth before the trial. The variety and quantity are enough to harm even an evolver. It seems the source of the plague isn't far from here. He turned back to the others. Song Zi-kun, you can't go any further. Return immediately. Understood, she replied without question. He then continued forward alone, following the constant stream of system notifications. With every step, the number of virus points he gained increased. I wonder how much it'll increase when I find the source, he mused. After a while, he arrived at his destination. In the center of a large chamber sat a skeleton, emanating a dark power. This place. It's a paradise for me, he whispered. He stared at the skeleton. A corpse. Is this the source of the plague? As he drew closer, he realized the concentration of the plague virus was thickest around a scroll clutched in the skeleton's hand. The scroll is the cause. He reached out and took the scroll. Even after unrolling it, he found no item information or instructions. Instead, there was a written prophecy. The high priest has sacrificed his life, and so I leave these words. Our great God has reached the supreme height in this trial of igniting the divine fire. We offer this world, only to leave the mark of our God's sect in the trial. Our lives will become the steps for the God's awakening. Our spirits will be with him forever. Our names will be passed down through the ages. The plague sect. All things decay, but life is eternal. The plague sect. Shenbai frowned. Why have I never heard of it? Whatever, he decided. I'll just absorb all the viruses here first. My strength will take a qualitative leap. He placed his hand on the scroll and activated his virus absorption ability. As he did, his arm began to transform violently. An overwhelming torrent of every plague imaginable flooded into his body. The process only ended when the skeleton before him finally crumbled to dust. A series of notifications chimed in his mind. He had completed the special mission, Master of the Sewers, and was receiving a random reward. He had obtained an item called the Wall of Flesh. He had also acquired the Plague Seal, the proof of a core member of the Plague Sect, condensed from countless terrible diseases. The Plague Seal. He thought, looking at the new mark on the palm of his hand. Another notification appeared. Because he had not been corrupted by the plague, he had met the conditions to activate the next mission, the Plague Sect, a quest with SSS, rank difficulty,